I guess we need to see if they're all like. I have a feeling that because they're doing 5, they might not be as aggressively balanced as like when they release 1, because there's like, I guess Blizzard has like less emphasis to make the hero shiny and stand out when there's 5 of them.
I was watching the Spotlight and I was watching like different streamers playing it, and I got to a point in August's VOD where it's like August is on Ilios and he's got a jetpack cat and he's just playing Ilios with a Mercy pocket on Bastion, getting flown around Ilios at Mach 10 with damage boost and double support pocket. And it's like there's just a forming Bastion solo killing everyone from the skybox, and you cannot kill him.
Yeah, I think reasonable.
They needed cuFFa.
Needed cuFFa.
Well, Loki was kind of chalked for the beginning, like from the beginning for Fuel. Because, like, I mean, like my off season was like, Dennis messaged me like pretty early on. Like, actually, really, it was helpful that he said it like really. He was like, "Yo, like Oliver, UV, and I, we're going to SSG. Like, we've already signed." And I was like, "All right, bet." Do people actually know about that thing that happened with Gen G?
Let's do it.
Do you guys know about that?
I actually don't know what happened, so fill us in.
So, oh my fucking god. So after China, GgulTaek just instantly signed a contract with Gen G, like frame 1 without any sort of negotiation, like when we were still like.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 46 of Uncoachable. Now, we're going to be doing a few things slightly differently today. The first thing is our producer is busy getting ready to go to Korea. So I am in charge of producing. So we're not going to have as many fancy scene changes and people going big and people going small. So if you're mainly into Uncoachable for the visual side of things, this episode is going to be worse for you. But he's still going to make us sound pretty at the end of it. So give up on the visuals, tune in for the audio. We're also going to do something slightly different with the guest today. Normally what we do with the guest is we get on a guest who is sort of an expert in what we're talking about, you know, whether it's the tournament they've played in or something like this. But today we're going to do something different. We're going to be talking about all the new rosters with a guy who has no bloody idea how to get onto a roster. So we'll see how it goes, but hopefully you can still provide some insight. Welcome, cuFFa.
Hello, thanks for having me. Yeah.
So we thought... I wrote the intro about the rosters, but we're actually going to start with the Spotlight. But we'll come back to the rosters because I think pretty much every team is announced except for a couple of them. So we'll get to that at the end. But the big news is obviously the Spotlight. Everything was announced yesterday. 1 billion new heroes, a bunch of changes now impact the esport as well as the sort of whole game as a whole. So I don't really know where's the best place to start with this.
Were you guys surprised? I had no leaks. Did you guys have leaks or? I think it was like pretty well kept. I think people talked about like loadouts. That's what people were rumoring. There was, what was the other one that people were talking about? Team ups and stuff. But I think this might actually be even bigger than those two, to be honest with you, in terms of how at least the patch will affect the game. I'm thinking like this is bigger than perks, at least from like a competitive perspective. It's like maybe the biggest patch ever, apart from maybe the Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2 patch.
It's like more heroes than the Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2 release though, right? Wasn't Overwatch 1 to 2 just
but I guess like 6v6 to 5v5 is like a bigger factor than
more substantial gameplay change. Yeah, they're all the tank changes as well. Yeah. It's still pretty much like, you know, one of the biggest content changes they've ever had, like the most hero releases all at once that they've ever done. I don't know. I think it's like a little bit more than was expected. I think that, you know, historically, like they always wind up having some hype for these Spotlight events because they like fly out all the creators and kind of like get them excited for it in advance because it just winds up being like a big sponsored event. But this one, I feel like it pretty much delivered on what was promised, you know, like actually wasn't a letdown or anything of the sort. I mean, I saw like, you know, maybe like Derpy pacing around in his mum's living room talking about how like disappointing it was. But I mean, I feel like he's just trying to find a reason to be negative about everything that he can find. But this was like pretty positive overall, like insanely positive, except for that cat tether. But you know, we'll get there.
I think it's sick. I think like the only thing that I heard like before was like, it was like some lore about like Doom dying, like maybe like people. I think people like theorized that and that happened, which is like cool. But like,
that got leaked. That got leaked in a corporate meeting or something. Like some random person in a meeting has just gone ahead and leaked that like in the lore, Doomfist gets his arm cut off or something. And it's like there's no fucking way that character's dead in the lore. Like I don't know anything about the lore, but there's no way that the character that can fucking meteor strike. And then when they've introduced a cat with a fucking tether, like there's no way that in that cinematic him falling out of a window to despair and you don't see his corpse at the bottom, like there's no way. He's not dead.
Yeah.
Not buying it.
I did see like IGN leaks shit like an hour before the actual spotlight. Like that is such a fuck up.
They're hopeless.
Yeah,
that's gonna be the last time they get that information.
Yeah, it won't.
It actually won't, for sure. But yeah, I agree. When I read it, I thought, yeah, it's like it's bigger than I expected for sure. I think the other thing that too is like actually really significant is like the amount of like they're upping the hero cycle, right? Like it's 5 on Tuesday, but it's also 5 across the year, which is up from their normal. So
I thought it was 10 across the year.
Well, that's what I mean. Like 5
right.
on Tuesday and then 5 more.
Yeah.
Which I think is also good. Like I mean, it's really hard to be negative about just extra content, presumably, right? Like we've been through so many barren years where there's just like one hero released every 2 years or something, and now we get like all these new ones. Like it'll be chaotic, but I guess it's just trying to keep up with the
games
that are rivals, if you pardon the pun.
I'll pardoned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the fact that there's going to be such a constant stream of them, it felt like maybe the last couple of years there's been these sort of like periods of breaks, and there's been like certain heroes that have just become super established, like the Kiris, the Lucios throughout all of this, maybe even Diva for a large part of last year. So it feels like this is going to really, it's just going to force everything to change way more often with all these releases. Like it sort of always does, but I can't remember the last time the schedule was this aggressive in terms of releases.
Yeah, this is like our one chance to escape Lucio Curie.
Well, we'll see about that.
We'll see.
The balance changes look pretty good for Lucio Curie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I mean, I think if you think from a competitive perspective, every time there's a new hero, it changes everything, right? Like everyone has to learn the new comp. It's always a factor, right? Like apart from Life Weaver, there hasn't been a new hero that wasn't like immediately like meta defining. So I have no idea how 5 heroes is going to look. I guess we need to see if they're all like, I have a feeling that because they're doing 5, they might not be as aggressively balanced as like when they release 1, because there's like, I guess Blizzard has like less emphasis to make the hero shiny and stand out when there's 5 of them. So I have a feeling some of these heroes might actually be balanced from the start. Like is it Arhan or
Arhan?
Yeah, like we played it in scrims yesterday. Like it seems okay actually. Like it seems fine, but it doesn't seem crazy busted. Obviously, we're just playing like the Vendetta patch where she's just like the greatest hero in the game at the moment. So even Vendetta hasn't been showed in pro play. So by the time we see it, there's going to be like 6 new heroes out.
And I do think, generally speaking, when it comes to like a new hero, like if it looks playable, if it looks half decent on the very first day that you're touching it, it's true. Probably insanely fucking OP. Not as like an indictment on the balance, but generally, if people can pick it up and play it half decently day 1, by day 10, someone is going to be absolutely insane at it. Like it's going to be really busted, because only heroes that are like just mid or weak look unplayable at the very start. If you can actually touch it right away and it's good, like it's probably nuts. Yeah, to be fair, when we screened, both teams played it all the time, so there was no real science. Like there was no one really played like a meta comp against it to see. But yeah, I mean, it felt like the first few rounds we were playing, the damage numbers were really low. It was like, oh, this hero's maybe really weak. And then by the end of the scrim, like both Rocket and Lenny were actually putting up like better numbers. So I think that, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how teams approach their like learning science phase, because it was really easy when it's just one hero. You just play the hero and figure out what's good with it. But then you've got to figure out 5 heroes and what's good with each. Like it's going to be, I mean, it'll be a chaotic few weeks of scrims at least. That's for sure.
Yeah, it feels like it's just going to be like an arms race with all these heroes. Like normally, because it's just one, if you have whoever plays that role is going to have to focus and try and get good at it, and then you sort of figure out fairly quickly whether you're a team with someone who is gifted on the hero and going to be good on it and you should lean into it, or if you're going to have to try and find your own way. But with so many moving pieces, I don't know. I don't really know how you approach it, right? It's just going to be a throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah. I mean, I've got an idea in my head of how we're going to take scrims and stuff, but I think for the most part, just I don't know. They're going to do it obviously in the show match or like the tournament, the whatever it's called, the Bootcamp, and they're going to have like 5 new heroes versus 5 new heroes, and like as the viewer, you're actually going to have no clue what's happening. Like it's actually going to be like, it was the same when I was watching all of these quick play games from the Spotlight. It looks like a different game because like they're just like cats flying around and beams from the sky and people being put in the cuck cage. And it's like, yeah, it's going to be super chaotic.
Yeah, it might expose a few fake grinders because I feel like this is the one time where everyone needs to learn a new hero as opposed to just one person on the team. So maybe you'll see like some people slip behind.
I hope that like an entire team of fake grinders just gets taken out at this point. You know what I mean? Like if you're hoping to just like kick back, relax, get your feet up, it's just not going to happen, right? Like you just need to have heart and passion in order to survive this patch. And you know what? That's a Team Liquid patch through and through, right? Like that's a passionate team right there. You can't tell me that ZR7 and fucking Tree aren't going to be playing 12 hours a day on this patch release. But you know, I'm not sure if the same can be said for some of the retirement home teams. Like maybe this is what like, you know, really, you know, the gap is already closed between like the Korean and EMEA scenes, but maybe this is like the real nail in the coffin for some of these like legacy Korean teams where they have like much older rosters, right? Like they have all of the retirement home players. And if you're like a retirement home player, and there's 5 new hero releases all at once, it's like, it's just too much for the elderly brain to process. And like, that's just like a career ending moment right then and there.
I mean, it's actually super true, by the way, because like whatever changes they like could have made, like if they did team ups or whatever, the game somewhere would fundamentally like be the same. Like the same players would still be able to kind of like, I feel like people like from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2, like I feel like people didn't like get washed up immediately. Like they changed up like 5v5 because as long as you can play your heroes. But what I think is true is when a new hero comes out, then you start to see it, you know? Like Shu is maybe like a really good example where it's like, well, over time, it's like even Kiri, it's not that new, but it's like, oh, he's kind of still reliant on like the Overwatch 1 heroes a little bit, you know? And then you get like the opposite where you get like even like Hazard, right? Like if you look at the Falcons tank line, like the experienced ones, either of them got like a Hazard on them, you know? Like it doesn't feel like the new heroes are the ones that you associate with like the older players. And then maybe like every time there's a new hero, I think it gives a young player an opportunity to like send them like chronic theory, right? Like nobody had Chronic as like an elite NA hit scan. Freya comes out, he grinded it, he got the best Freya quite quickly, and now he's like always in that conversation of like the elite NA hit scans. So there is like an opportunity for like a wealth regeneration or whatever, you know, like the skill can go up or down. People could get washed quite quickly, or like you said, if you're one of these young passionate teams, there's an opportunity here.
We got a rebalancing event. I like it.
It's making it sound like an extinction event here. Like it's just 2 or 3 teams in Korea. No, it would just be. I
mean, there are older players outside of Korea as well, you know.
Yeah.
Nervous chuckle from Chrissy.
Classic Chrissy for off season, you know, go for all the experienced players. This team can't go wrong. Game changes immediately. Everyone's washed up. Gabby.
It can happen.
It really can happen.
Do we have any particular thoughts on any of the heroes specifically? Obviously, everyone has been limited to just sort of watching the streamers at the Creator Spotlight event, sort of play the heroes and see the new abilities and have them sort of mishmash everything together. Do we have any initial impressions about any of them?
I feel all of them look kind of normal, like just Overwatch 2 heroes that like everyone can understand. And then you've got the jetpack fucking cat, which I think breaks every single fucking rule and has potential to just be it's such a stupid name too. I'm sick of Overwatch doing cats, okay? First it was fucking Zoe's cat with a band. It's just always cats in it, you know? But it's like, we don't need cats, okay? But like the fact it's perma-flying, like you've seen the hitbox when like it's in the sky, it's like a little circle, and like everything seems weird about that one. So I feel like all the other heroes seem like in line with what you would expect from a new Overwatch 2 hero. And then Jetpack Cat is either Life Weaver or it's just the most broken thing in history, I think.
Yeah, I think like with the cat, I was watching the Spotlight and I was watching like different streamers playing it. And I got to a point in August's VOD where it's like August is on Ilios and he's got a Jetpack Cat and he's just playing Ilios with a Mercy pocket on Bastion, getting flown around Ilios at Mach 10 with damage boost and double support pocket. And it's like there's just a forming Bastion solo killing everyone from the skybox, and you cannot kill him because the tether heals you, the mercy beam's pocketing him, and he's moving so fucking fast that there's just no hope of killing him in a million years. And it's like the tether never expires. The cat's fuel comes back in like 5 seconds. Like the Mach 10 fuel just never stops being available, really. And it's like, geez, this character needs some tuning before it hits the live servers, because this is like, they have, they said that there was a hotfix. The devs were saying while they were sitting next to the players that there's a hotfix ready to go where the tether has like an internal cooldown. So like you're not going to be able to be staying tethered forever. But I feel like they're going to have to change multiple things about that damn cat before it feels good in the hands. Because the fact that you can put any hero anywhere really, really fast just does feel like it maybe breaks a few more rules than has ever been, established in the game, right? Like Symmetra has rules right? Where the TP can, like the TP has hard limitations on where it can go. Like you can't just,
you can destroy it as well. Like, you can, and there's an animation time. And whereas here, a Sojin can overclock, and then she's just skybombing you in.
Like, what about a high noon? Like, yeah. There's so many options with it that just seem like insane and really difficult to counter. And like the rollouts with it are crazy, right? Like you come back from spawn, pick someone up, fly them into the fight with their ult, and they're in there in like 2 seconds. Like it's just more mobility than anything that previously existed in the game. And the cat itself is so hard to kill. Like it's genuinely, it's scaled like a real cat. Like they could genuinely 2x the size of the hitbox on the character and it would probably still be hard to hit. It's tiny. It's so small. So you're just going to perma need a hit scan to like one bop it out of the sky. And I think it has 250 HP as well. So it's like, it's very, very hard to kill.
But
well, it just feels like, 700 from watching a stream.
I think can the chain, like the Mizuki chain, like catch people when they're tethered?
Yeah,
that's still gonna be hard as fuck to hit though. Like this geezer just flying through the air. Like
it does look fun though. Like you can't. I feel like you can't fault them for like putting something or attempting to like put something that is like completely unique and game changing into the game. But I do feel that they're just like, as soon as I saw that one in the playtest, it's like there's going to need to be some rules added to this one. Like when someone's tethered to you, you move slow. Because like you move slower when you're carrying a tank, right? But I feel like it just needs to move slower when it's carrying anything. Because otherwise, the thing that it's carrying can just kill everyone really, really, really quickly, and is way too hard to kill because it gets a pocket from the tether. So I think if they put a bunch of like limitations on what it can do while it's carrying people on the tether, there's a chance that it's not that bad, and it's just another bit of util.
Like when they made Weibo, right? Like they at least said, okay, we're going to break a few rules, do all this, but we're going to make the base kit of this hero just fucking terrible. Like, oh yeah, you're not going to get any damage mobility. You've got an awful hitbox. They're like, well, what if we broke all the rules, but we didn't do any of those stuff with Weibo? Like, what if we still keep giving the insane? Like the hitbox is going to be like. How can it perma fly, dude? Like, how can it perma fly? Like, just around like.
I'm pretty sure I was just watching Star Wars there.
Yeah, it actually is insane.
All I'm seeing is that this is Oliver's year.
The year of Ollie.
Yeah,
I think Ollie's going to be insane at this, right? Like, there's no way he's not going to. It's the one hope we've got, At least our supports are going to be good at the new supports, The rest seem maybe is fucked, but. I think Hawk's good for Dominic too, no? Oh, you think walk on the cat?
The cat is diva, so
there's so much damage on this cat too, no? Like I'm watching this now, and it's just all the utility in the world, combos with every single ult, impossible to kill, and gold damage. Yeah, okay. This cat might be.
Give it to Hawk. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Always fun thinking about
trying to spawn camp Aspen for like an hour.
Always fun thinking about the old heroes in comparison to this as well. Like, think about Reinhardt fighting this cat. Just poor Reinhardt. Just swinging, throwing fire strikes. There's no chance.
Just like getting put out to pasture with shit like that, It's just like.
Oh, wait, you know what? You know what Cloudy was saying though? He was saying he thinks the opposite. Actually, he thinks the cat is going to save Reinhardt. Because now all of Reinhardt's limitations, he can get a little cat escort up into all the problem places.
I Everyone used to say about Weaver too. It was like, oh, well, Weaver, we always used to have all these ideas how Weaver Ryan was going to be the saving grace for London. It was going to, like, we were going to do so much stuff.
I mean, it could have been. You just didn't have the vision. Like, if you had Ollie...
Yeah, Oliver had it. Like, that wasn't
we did have Ollie.
We literally had Ollie. We literally had it.
If you had the new Ollie, rather than the old Ollie, like, let's move the goalposts here and just take another swing at it.
Like, look at this shit that's on our screen right now. Like, what is this game? Like,
it's like Overwatch, but it feels a bit like a fever dream, you know?
And it is really just the cat having an unlimited ability to fly and more mobility than is possible to kill. Like, that's really all, right? Like, any other character, you just don't experience this because there's like hard limitations on their mobility. You have like a Pharah, you have an Echo, they're like 5 times easier to hit and they can't fly forever. I think just having a hero that can fly forever, that has a tiny hitbox, is a very huge diversion from the regular rules. But it's like, how do they even make it such that this becomes killable, right? Like, how do they bring this in line with every other hero without ruining it philosophically? Like, if Jetpack Cat winds up needing fuel to be in the air, like, is it just shit?
Well, that's it. Like, certain heroes are designed in a way where they're either broken or they're shit. Like, it's really hard to find the middle ground. Jetpack Cat looks like the exact hero like that, you know? If it's easy to kill and it's in the skybox, then hit scans are just going to take you out and there's no point. If you're impossible to kill, then there's no reason never to not play this hero, you know?
I think, to be fair as well, I'd also rather it starts crazy and then they just tone it down a little bit or add a cooldown to the tether, you know? Like, start extreme and then rein it in.
Give us a week off Lucio Curie, and then you can fucking...
Just 1 week. I'm going all in on Lucio Wu Yang this stage.
Me too. Okay.
How about any of the others then? Anything else stand out, or do they all feel, I guess, more standard Overwatchy? I don't know quite the right term for it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the new hit scan, Emre, seems like soldier killer type situation, you know, just like fun, like run and gun. I mean, you can see that it's like very, very heavily inspired by like Halo style kits. Like, I think, you know, people are comparing it to like COD and Halo and stuff like that, but it's like the pistol looks like the secondary pistol from Halo. The primary looks like the battle rifle from like Halo 5 or something like that. The grenade animation is like lobbing a nade in Halo. Like, it's very like Halo inspired in terms of all the weapons and stuff like that. And it just looks like a fun gameplay loop in terms of like high mobility hit scan. Just like basically like an Overwatch 2 soldier is the kind of impression that I get, because, you know, soldier is just locked to the ground. And now this character, when you pull out the secondary, you can jump to high grounds. So seems pretty fun. The what is it, Unrun? That one, like watching Tree play that one, even just picking that one up in the practice range now that anyone can like boot it up in quick play or whatever. That one feels like way more fluid than I thought from watching the playtest. Maybe because like all the content creators just were standing around in spawn for half of the time. But yeah, I mean, that one actually feels insane. It feels very much like I don't know, like Genji type of movement. Have you guys played it or no?
No, I haven't, but I've seen like videos of it. I was watching Tree play it a bit.
Oh, it feels good in the hands. The new support looks kind of I don't know, maybe like the least fun of the lot.
Yeah,
like how it's tuned at the moment.
I think generally speaking, I will obviously mention this your career ages, but I think it's probably harder for a support to come in and knock the meta heroes out than it is other roles, because unless you have Suzu, which counters every ult in the game every 5 seconds, and you have unlimited mobility, then like it has to be a really strong support. So I don't know. Yeah, this is the one that I think I talked about the least, or was maybe what on paper looks the least strong right now. But you know, we'll see. I suppose.
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
I guess the only one we haven't mentioned is the new tank, Domina.
I think that one to me looks. I think she's going to be strong. Like, I think the shield itself looks like. It's interesting they brought back shields, because you know how they had like a no shield policy for ages, you know, and maybe what they found a little bit over time was Oh, it's hard.
All the tanks feel the same.
yeah. Like we probably shouldn't have limited ourselves on that one. So I think a shield tank looks. Yeah, my feeling is like, you know what you said about like the Emre is the new soldier. Like this is just going to be the one that like kicks Sigma out. You know, like I think over time, if you are like a certain Overwatch 1 hero, you just get removed from the meta by one of the new ones that effectively does the same thing as your hero but just does it better. I feel like, I guess there's like the similarities here. Like looks like it has a similar range, has maybe probably a stronger shield. Like the ult looks much better. It does feel like it's really aim intensive for a tank, right? Like it feels like it's like Zarya level like tracking and headshot requirements, but my feeling
it feels like this might not kick
strong.
Sigma just because like Sigma is actually pretty like aim forgiving. Like obviously there's like an intensely mechanical component to Sig, but it's kind of easy to just like spam up a lane and get value on Sig. Like you can bounce your shit around walls. Whereas with this, you actually have to like track and hit the like flick shot, headshot at the end in order to be effective. So maybe this is one that's like, you know, really highly expressed at really high ranks because there's like this crazy aim requirement on the primary fire to get max value because of the headshots. Whereas Sigma is more like, you know, for somebody that is in, you know, perhaps gaming for Hoplo, you know, a little bit more appropriate there.
Just browsing. I'm having a problem where Spilo's all talk, not pressing
The
the
classic
buttons.
Spilo.
Pressing Spilo.
Yeah. The ult looks really good. Like I think that's going to be.
The cut
really
cage is
annoying.
insane. The cut cage is completely insane. Like putting somebody in a bubble.
Come on, Spilo.
She's never going to. There it is.
He's done it.
Well done.
He's done it immediately into options.
I think too, like what I expect to happen generally is that like, I think any hero that comes out that isn't strong will become like I think Visit in general will be really incentivized to make weak new heroes strong quite quickly. Like I think you'll actually see like hot fixes to make them strong if they're not. So I would be surprised if any of these heroes never touch pro play. That would be my prediction. Is I think that they will all have relevance either in specific ban scenarios or just as the meta for a certain amount of time. I think it's way more likely that they come out broken than it is that and like stay broken for a while. Like they'd rather a hero is broken for a few months than terrible for a few months is my feeling. But I guess also like the dev team's gonna have to work overtime, like balancing and hot fixing 5 heroes instead of just like paying attention to one hero's number.
The other major change that is affecting the whole selection is all the passive changes. So rather than it being a passive change now for tank support DPS, they've made it so it's they've broken this all down. So there's like initiator and different passives for all these different I guess categories of character. And get them up now. But what this also means as a result is it means the old all-encompassing passives, like say the tank boot passive, probably felt like one of the more impactful ones, is removed. Not from everyone, some of them still have them, like the stalwart heroes, but it means there's now other stuff is more boopable. It's lost their old passive and they've got all these new passives that are maybe a bit more specialized to what their role in a comp should be.
Yeah, my feeling is actually this is the most significant balance change like in general. Like I actually think when it comes to like the balance mistakes, I think like the difference between some of these passives is crazy, you know? Like if you're one of these heroes that like it's funny, I feel like it's funny that the heroes which are already strong also all have the good passives, you know? Like I swear there's no like meta hero and you look at the passive you think, oh, that's terrible. Whereas if you look at like Soldier 76, like, oh, I got a little bit extra reload or something. Like that one feels like so weak compared to extra mobility after headshots or whatever it ends up being. Like even some of the perk changes, which maybe we'll get to later, like I feel like the heroes which are already broken just get like better and better perks, you know? Whereas like, what's the category called? The one where it's like, is it specialist? Like all those specialist heroes, I swear they're already like within reason, like relatively weak. And I feel like they just get weaker. Whereas that sharpshooter, which is pretty much where like those heroes have been meta, especially Cass and Sojourn forever, I think that they're even just going to get even stronger.
Did tank previously have a passive where you take less damage for getting headshot? Was that like a part of the baseline tank passive where you just take less damage on headshots? Do any of you know this?
You'd think I would know this.
Deferring to the tank in the call here.
Because I have some sort of feeling that maybe that was the case, that you didn't take full damage on headshots, but I'm not 100% on it. Because I was thinking that the tank passives were like, for the most part, just like an overall nerf to tanks. Because if it was that plus the boop together, then it's like an overall nerf to tanks, right? Because
and
like
you're
for
always
the
getting
gameplay
DPS
isn't changing.
Passives. Yeah, like every hero's I think the same. I feel like the initiator one seems so weak to me in comparison to all the other ones, and a lot of those heroes, maybe minus dealer, was already kind of struggling as it was in the meta. But it feels like they just kind of, and some of them I feel like they just ran out of ideas, like that. I swear, like that specialist one is just the one where they're like thinking for ages, like what do we do? What do we do? How do we make it? And like, oh fuck it, just make their reload quicker, Maybe it's quite good on sim. What do you think? The reload on sim does it help when you? Yeah.
I don't think it's as good as like.
Yeah, some of the support ones are crazy too. No, like if support wasn't already strong enough.
I think the support ones are like just super, super, super strong, like all across the board, right? Maybe like Baptiste looks a little bit like odd one out in terms of like where Baptiste winds up in the placement.
It's because his ult's like weak though, You're like, oh great, I've got another window.
Yeah. I just thought that they should have like swapped Baptiste to like one of the other two passives. Like either would be or they should have swapped him not to the one they're using a mobility cooldown because he doesn't have one. But yeah, just swapped him into the one where if you heal people, you get a bit of healing back, something like that. Because over ult for Bap is a bit, I don't know, like Bap shouldn't sit on window forever, really. And it's not
compared
like a defensive
to
ult that you hold.
And B and everything, like all of these ults are just way more impactful by default, or inherently rather.
Yeah, I think like for tanks, like the initiator one is like so weak. It's like what, 25 health or 25 healing per second for 2 seconds if you're in the air for 0.8 seconds. And it's like half of those tanks can't even get that. I mean, the Ball and the Diva can, but like, how is Doom ever getting that? And Winston, like maybe half the time you get it. It's just like the characters are already so weak right now. And then combined with like you're getting like the Overwatch 1 boops, like all these Overwatch 2 tank players are like in for like a rude awakening of like trying to do any sort of engagements where they're just getting like booped to Narnia, unless you're on the Star Wars heroes. So I think it's gonna be like really fucked for a bit. I mean, like Diva's like fine, she's been piss broken for ages, so she's not gonna be affected by this as much. But like Winston, Doom, Ball, like just getting weaker and weaker. I think like maybe this. Hey,
Kellen. Think how cooked Kellen is now. one boop on the jump and it's just his career's gone.
I mean, you see that maybe there's like some good side of Winston with the new minor perk of like you can get like up to 30% movement speed boost when you're zapping 3 people.
I think the main thing for some of these heroes, I think Winston more than anything, is I think the fact that Winston applies DPS passive is actually really nice when like 1v1 is support. I say this as someone with more Winston than any player in the world at the moment, But actually, like the amount of times I'm like zapping someone and I'm just getting like Macy's just like laughing at me, pocketing through my damage, and like I literally can't do it. Not enough buttons to do it. Like I think that's actually quite nice for a few of those times. But I look at this and I think, honestly, the more and more I see it, the more it looks like we're just going like back to ground tank slop, like all of the new heroes, like the support ground tanks, like the tank is a ground tank, the cat helps the ground tanks. If the game already wasn't kind of ground tanky as it's been for the last however long, it looks more and more to me like that's what's going to happen.
It's interesting.
I think the Bruiser is the best of the tank ones, right?
Yeah. I was kind of like when I saw like the like Queen and stuff in Star Wars, like that's a little interesting because I feel like Queen. I mean, it's good to like not be able to get booped as easily because like your axe and stuff. But like I feel like there's a bit more counterplay in that, and you'd find more value having the Bruiser sub role for characters like Queen, like headshot reduction or like crit reduction and like the movement speed. Like I feel like that's so much better for Queen than not getting knocked back or whatever it is.
Yeah. Feels more baseline for it, right? Like just baked into how she plays.
Just trying to see if there's somewhere to see all the new perks in one easy place, but maybe not so.
There is. I think I can.
Nah, you'd have to watch like a video. I think.
Yeah, I found like a car key video, but it's like an hour and 20 minutes of all the new perks.
Tanks.
We can just watch it.
Did have a baseline 25%. So like, I think this is just like overall a huge nerf to tanks, to be honest.
Yeah,
like,
I actually
all
agree.
tanks had 25% crit reduction and the boot reduction. So while the DPS role has gotten like sweeping buffs, like the DPS passive has been made baseline everywhere, and then all DPS have gotten a little bonus treat rolled in. Tanks have actually just gotten their passive split up across 3 different categories, or 2 different categories, and then the healing one. So all tanks are worse off in a way, right? Because even if you get that little like crit health speed boost, like you are boopable now. And if you're not boopable, you get headshotted for full damage instead of this 25% reduction. So in a lot of ways, all the tanks are the losers unless you're like a wrecking ball player.
Yeah, and like people always complain about like the slop like ground take metas, but like half the time it's in that it's just because every other character is like so weak compared to like the DPS that are just like shitty on them, or just like you need to play like the sloppiest character that can survive the longest to get some sort of value in that time. Like there's like periods when like every dive tank is just dog shit. I mean like D.Va like kind of got in a bit, but like I think like halfway through the year it's like we just have to play like slop and like more and more slop.
Yeah, actually,
and this is just going to encourage it even more.
Think about it too, you know, like all of a sudden, fucking Sojourn, not only does she now have 2 slides, she gets like cooldown reduction as she's shooting you. So you're just never catching Sojourn. You're chasing Kiri. Oh, she's actually like she's healing herself whilst healing everybody else, you know? So like all the like you're taking more damage, you're more boopable, and the other roles are doing more damage with mobility and more healing on you. Like actually, you're exactly right. Like tank Hawk is going to be so happy because it's going back to Overwatch 1 tank again, where you just like you're just going to die.
I can't wait.
I know exactly what Hawk's going to say. He's going to say, "Oh, I'm so excited for this because all these shit Overwatch 2 tanks are going to like get shown to be fraudulent. You're going to see like how tank takes real skill now." That's what he's going to say, and then he's going to get destroyed in the first block by just getting shot, and then he's going to be mad. But he'll be happy temporarily.
That's what it's all about. Temporary happiness.
Dude, okay, actually Winston is actually so tough, no? Like just full booped, full headshots. Dude.
Is the biggest loser in all of this you, Chrissy? You and Kellen?
Yeah, it could be. But the new Winston perk, minor perk looks good. The new Ryan minor perk looks good. So maybe I'm going to get to champ pretty soon.
Was there anything else from the Spotlight, sort of gameplay, character-wise, that we haven't touched on that you think is worth putting in? I feel like we hit most of, I guess, like the actual gameplay changes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few small perks which are broken, but I don't think it.
Is ZETA getting changed?
Yeah, but I read that she's getting like something's nerfed about Vendetta. I can't remember what it was, but something's nerfed. I think Trace is losing damage, but getting. I don't know. They're changing. Honestly, this patch itself is massive. Like figuring it out is going to be. Even just thinking about all the science that you have to do is insane. Did you see that new Cass perk?
Which one's, what is it?
Combat roll also heals 15 health for each bullet reloaded. So you shoot your gun. Yeah, okay, so you shoot your gun, like you reload with roll.
90 health.
You get 90 health, plus your rolls on like a 0 cooldown because you're always headshotting people. I mean, Cass looks genuinely unkillable.
It's just gonna be rolling around the map.
Yeah,
and like the reduced movement cooldown ability, or like whatever, the timer.
Yeah, exactly. You get your movement back quicker if you hit a headshot as well. Cass is just going to be rolling and reloading and just unstoppable.
Monkey jumps him, he just like rolls 30 times before he gets his next jump. Does that count for like fan the hammer? Like if you're fan the hammering in the monkey's head, like do you get the cooldown reduction faster?
I would guess so, because that's the Sojourn why I think that's broken, because you get loads of your left click. You don't just have to rely on the rail to reduce your cooldown, no? So, yeah, I don't know, maybe.
That seems just like, yeah.
I mean, some of it seems so broken. But every hero I see that looks broken was already broken, you know? Like, I didn't see a single hero that wasn't already meta be like, oh, that hero is now broken. It's just like, if you were good, you're better, and if you were shit, then you're absolutely cooked, you know?
Yeah, so it looks like I'm going to be out of the job for the foreseeable future.
Sorry, mate.
just you wait until Hawk gets to grips with all these new heroes. Maybe there'll be an opening. Then, should we talk a little bit about, I guess, the esports side? Because there was a few sort of esports announcements sort of folded in here a little bit. they announced all the locations for all the lands. So first land is probably the big one. That's going to be in Tokyo, Japan for the Champions Clash. So it's the first, I want to say the first ever major event in Japan. I don't know if they maybe did a World Cup qualifier there or something, but at least in recent history, huge for the Japanese scene. Then mid-season will be at Riyadh for the Esports World Cup, as we always are. And then we'll be in China. I don't know if they announced the city actually, but we'll be somewhere in China for World Finals.
Surely this time I qualify for China, right? Like this time, there's like no way I'm missing that event 2 years in a row. They give me a second chance.
Still pretty good though, I think.
Yeah, it looks really good. Like obviously it's a little bit difficult for like NAE viewers, like time zone wise. But I mean it makes sense. Like Japan is like huge for Overwatch right now. China's also huge for Overwatch right now. And then EWC is like always like a guaranteed one. It's just like it's whatever. They got a shit ton of money. Yeah, I think Japan would be like fucking awesome though. Like so sick that I can't play that.
What do you think this means? Do you think this means as well? They're gonna have to give Japan a slot to that one, right?
Oh,
surely, right?
Yeah.
Which, right? Like it's just so I don't know if that means we're going to be above 8 teams. You know, because obviously last Champions Clash was 8 teams. If we're going to go up in terms of number of teams, or if they're just going to, I don't know, who was the lowest seed? China maybe, or what?
I don't think they'll give them one.
I don't think they'll give them one because like you can see from the dates that the Japan LAN. I mean, yeah, like. That land's gonna be 3 days, right?
Really?
Like they announced the dates for all of the tournaments, and like that is clearly a 3-day LAN. So I don't think that they're gonna give an extra slot to Japan. Like I think they have to go up to 12 in order to give a slot.
Exactly right. The numbers you can't just go 8 to 9. You have to go 8 to 12, and then all of a sudden your expenses go up because you're inviting, and then you figure out who the other slots go to. So I agree. I'm not sure. Unless they're really spending money this year, it looks so tough to figure out how to like. Because who are you cutting? Like, if you were to give Japan a spot and keep it 8 teams, who are you cutting?
China. Everyone gets 2, and China gets 1 because they finished lowest at the World Finals.
Did they? Yeah.
Did they
finish lower than
maybe
NA?
NA did.
I thought NA did.
Wait, maybe NA did. Yeah. So we put NA down to 1 slot.
No.
And we get Japan in there.
We don't need Japan, guys. We don't need Japan.
It does feel kind of insane that they're going back down to 8 slots though. Like I feel like it made sense for China last year because like the start of the year. But like now there's like what? How many partner teams are there? Like there's the 3 Chinese ones plus the
4, 8, 11.
Is Varel a partner team?
No, they're not. But like there's like a temporary partner team like Milk Tea as well in China. Like it feels so weird that there's like close to 16 partner teams and now there's like the first LAN of the year of like a really good, like coming off the back foot of a really good last year that they're going back down to 8 teams. So like I don't really agree with that. But yeah.
Yeah, I think in theory as well, what the partner teams, I talked about in previous episodes a little bit, but brings more monies, more salaries, which in theory means all of these teams are more competitive as well. So it's not like maybe do you remember like the 2024 Esports World Cup when there was, I'm going to say 16 teams, and there was a handful of teams there that you just thought, they've not really made a major impact in this tournament. You know, like nice for them, obviously, but it's not really enhanced the product of a tournament as a spectacle. Whereas now I think you could quite easily do 12 teams and I could have an investment in every team, you know, or there's a chance for an upset here or an upset there or a bit deeper in the bracket or something.
Yeah.
So I guess the only way for Japan to qualify is to beat one of the Korean teams. But luckily, we did establish earlier that these Korean teams are all on an extinction level event because of all these new heroes. So actually,
so are these Japanese teams, dude. Like those guys have been playing since day dot. Like those players. No. I mean, how old are some of these guys, right?
Yeah, half of them are like over 25.
Yeah, they're like guys from my era, bro. Like,
no.
But they still have the grit, you know.
These guys are so old they don't have their ages on Wikipedia. Like,
no. I'm having a browse now. Yeah. No ages, timeless. 26.
I think Cloud's like 28 or something.
27. Oh no.
Back it up, boys. It's the death of Varel.
Oh well. But yeah, I think in terms of events, all seems actually pretty exciting. Brand new event. I think everyone enjoyed, Champions Clash last year. I think both from a viewer and attendee perspective from most people I spoke to. So it seems like on for a pretty good set of tournaments.
Yeah, agreed.
Then probably the bit that me and Hunter are most interested in. for new esports loot boxes that will be dropping from Twitch if you watch for co-streamers. Exactly. So basically just esport loot box, you get the loot box, and then you could get a random either Overwatch League or one of the old contender skins or something like this. So obviously there's actually 1 billion of those Overwatch League skins between all the teams and all the heroes that were out at the time. So plenty of stuff to farm. So it seems like on for pretty good viewer rewards throughout the year. And those are going to start obviously next week at the bootcamp as well.
Yeah, I think it's like the best incentive that they've ever like introduced to it, really, because you would notice with like the different drop programs, like the viewership would be really relative to like the quality of the drop, if that makes sense. Like sometimes you'd get something like, I remember there was a particular Calling All Heroes drop where it was like a cute little cat spray or something like that, or a cute little cat icon, and like on the day before that drop came out, I kept getting people coming in on my channel being like, is the cozy cat thing here? Is the cozy cat thing here? Is the cozy cat thing here? Like people will genuinely chase a specific drop if it's high quality and try and really aggressively find the stream that has that thing. And with these esports loot boxes, I mean, if they're working in the way that I think they are, where it's like you'll get a skin out of every box no matter what, there's really cause for people to farm them all year long, because there's thousands and thousands of esports skins, right? There's 20 Overwatch League teams, home and away, Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2, every single hero. So a huge range there. Then you've got all of your MVP skins, all of your team skins for winning the championships, all of your contenders skins. Like there's such a huge range of skins and cosmetics across Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2 that if somebody wants like Hangzhou Spark Mercy or something like that, right, as a completely random example, like they will farm forever in the hopes of opening a box that gets it, right? So it doesn't wind up being a case of like, I'm not going to farm the esports loot box this time around because it doesn't have anything that I want, because it could always have something that somebody wants. And with such a huge range of things that you could get in the box, I feel like there's just the endless incentive to keep gambling and keep farming the drops. So I think it'll be really good for the esport viewership this year.
Yeah, I think it really makes sense, like reusing all those assets. Like they kind of had like a weird period of time where like, I guess they probably didn't know what to do with the remaining OWL skins. They like kept in the shop for so long, and it's definitely good that they like open it up to like more affordable options. Because realistically, those OWL skins are actually pretty fucking expensive. I think it was like 8 to 10 Australian dollars for like one skin, which like
they were really spending, and they stopped selling them.
And they stopped selling them.
Yeah, I think the fact that they don't sell them is like, now they get to use all of those like essentially unused, like unmonetizable assets in a way where putting stuff in the esports drops program is no longer going to like eat away at dev time, if that makes sense. You know, like they don't have to do any recolors or anything like that to make it work. They can just reuse assets that will not costing them anything anyway. Like there's no cost to giving this stuff away now for them. So I think that's, just overwhelming value. It's like a really good
I wonder how they'll work for like the Dallas skins, because like, are they going to be getting like new colors, or like, I mean, not new colors, but like new skins, or is it like the same stuff in the previous loot box, like in those loot boxes?
I think they have to do. I think it would look nice, if it is just like a 2026 version, like a kind of like a new jersey, the modern jersey.
Maybe like more black and like dark blue. I don't know, like based off like their announcements. Change a bit from the color scheme.
Yeah, I reckon they'll get new ones. Then probably the big part of all of this, which I think came as a sort of a surprise to a lot of people, is with the announcement of all of this, that patch goes live, I want to say, is it the 10th or the 11th next week?
Yeah, 10th.
But all the partner teams now have agreed to go. So everyone except for SSG and ZETA Division, and I think JDG from China are also not going. But all the other partner teams will be attending a bootcamp in Korea, at which point they'll be given early access to this starting, I think, on Sunday. So they'll get a chance to play all of the new heroes, play between each other, test all that stuff out before playing a single elimination tournament on I think it's the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the bracket's already been decided. I think if I was good at producing and hosting, I would have had it ready to go, but I don't. I'll work on that. But so I think the concept's really cool, right? In terms of all the new heroes, all the best players and teams in the world playing it, all seems really fun. And they've inserted a bunch of format rules that Yubi has kindly released to the world so we can discuss. Thank you, Yubi. Where basically, let me get this right. So the who gets first map pick is going to be decided by a 1v1, so a kind of classic show match stuff. Cool, no problem. First map, there's obviously 5 new heroes, 2 DPS, 2 supports, 1 tank. So you have to play all 5 new heroes. So it's just a mirror matchup, all 5 new heroes. Then maps 2 to 4, just normal Overwatch. You can ban stuff as long as you can't ban the new heroes, but you can do normal map picks and bans as such. And then map 5, you have to play Domina. So you just have to play Domina. Everything else you can pick whatever way you want, new hero, old hero, everything like this. So yeah, I guess initial impressions, thoughts is because obviously I feel like this is good for casuals, maybe not as good for the hardcore esports lovers.
Yeah, I think it's still like decent for the esports lovers, right? Because it's like a good taste of like what's to come with like all these new characters, and it's like the first time we'll be able to experience it like pretty much right off the bat of like the new season starting. So I think it's like not too bad at the end of the day. I do think maybe they should have like slapped like a bit of money behind it to really make people actually try. Like
there is prize money.
25. There is a prize. Yeah.
I think if I get it right,
the top 3 get it.
I think top 4 get it, but it gets
good actually.
I think top 1. I want to say 15 grand maybe for first place.
Okay, I think that's like decent enough to warrant like at least like trying to, win. And I mean like it's good practice for like everyone to like get into these new characters and all that. So I think it's like a little odd like how they've done it, but I think it's good at the same time.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think when this thing was announced, I was like, wow, it's like a surprise that Blizzard is hosting like an extra tournament and stuff. I think this was clearly always on Blizzard's mind. They clearly were really gunning for this patch that's coming on Tuesday, and they're trying to do this. I think the way that maybe it looked on the outside, and maybe even the way that the teams understood it, was like it's a tournament, like it's just an additional LAN, like an opportunity to practice. Like they maybe thought this would be like a really, really serious event, whereas actually, as some of these rules come out, like the reality is like whoever wins, I don't think it proves a single thing. Like I think any win or loss is completely irrelevant to like teams' strength or weaknesses. I mean, I'll watch it. I look at it and I think that like enough elements of this are just so it is just a show match. I think from like an exhibition match that you would do in a traditional sport. And I guess in a way, I'm kind of glad that we decided to skip it. Good foresight from the SSG guys, as always, because we don't have to travel internationally again to do a 1v1 to decide first map on the cat or something.
It's a 1v1 to decide first map. But then first map, you got to play all 5 new heroes anyway. So what does it matter what map you're on?
Yeah.
It's a mirror matchup anyway.
Yeah, I think like maybe they could have been a bit better with like how they're displaying it to the teams. It's like it is like a little bit of like, they led them under the guise of like a preseason tournament. You got to show off like your new rosters and like try really hard to win, and then it's like a completely different rule set, and you're playing like a bit of like more of a show match and stuff. So I think that was like a bit of like a sneaky one that they pulled on people, but like I'm like pretty positive about it from like the outside. Like I think if you get to travel somewhere to play a tournament, like you can't really complain too much at the end of the day, but I can understand why people would be against it.
Yeah, I can see why. There you go. Oh, well, I can see why like the esports teams, perhaps wouldn't want to attend, but at the same time, like the esports players and such are just like completely incapable of helping themselves, if that makes sense. Like a tournament like this is going to be like really good for viewership because like people are going to want to see all of the new heroes in the hands of the pros and stuff, right? And they just wouldn't get that if there wasn't a tournament like this. But so many pros, like if they knew that this is going to be more like show matchy, exhibition-y, they'd be, just not attending in the first place, and no such thing would exist. But something like this is probably good for viewership of the esport rather than bad, because people want to see this stuff, right? Like viewers want to see the new heroes get played and not just like be avoided or, like get pushed into the life weaver category if it's not too strong. So I think that overall it's not that bad for them to, get people to go there, right? Like whether they sort of bill it as one thing and then people kind of wind up being surprised when they get the rule set, or whether they like force the teams that are involved in the partner program to just go to the tournament, like it's a condition of the program that you have to attend this stuff. Because like in Overwatch League, you would have had to, your teams had to play in whatever show match the league told you to play in, right?
Decided.
Yeah, exactly. And you'd think like for a partner organization that a similar, level of, I suppose Blizzard control wouldn't be that much of a surprise. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think that, sometimes the pro players are incapable of helping themselves in terms of like what's going to be best for them actually getting something out of being Overwatch pros.
Yeah, I think to be fair as well, most of the teams that are going, like especially for the new teams, like maybe the Disguise for Dallas, even if it's not, but it doesn't end up being the most serious or the most sort of defining or impactful in terms of your in-game performance. It's probably just really nice to get the whole gang together, go to a cool place, play a few games of Overwatch and have everyone meet each other. Maybe if you're like an SSG or a TM or like a lot of players, I guess, on the older side or have played together for a long time already, maybe it's not as valuable to you then. But I think that, again, that's the minority of teams in this situation.
Yeah, I think if you get flown across the world to play any sort of video game and you're getting paid for it, you got to be like rolling with the punches when things like this happen and be a bit more fucking grateful.
Worse things have happened to people.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're in a fucking pretty good position to start with. So I think people maybe need to be a bit more positive about that shit.
Yeah, I think to be fair, the only ones, maybe if like the orgs thought they were getting something more serious out of it, and then because I think the orgs had to pay like travel costs and stuff. So maybe that's the only bit. But obviously, I'm not sure exactly. I think like for all the players, this part all the specifics were a surprise, but I don't know if the partner orgs actually had like more of an inkling beforehand what they were signing up for. But that's the only bit I guess would call into question. But I think in terms of viewers and the players, it's going to be a fun thing. It's just going to be a big old show match or a show weekend or a weekend of show matches. I think it'll be a lot of fun, a lot of chaos. And yeah, a decent opening event. And I think probably from Blizzard's point of view, like Blizzard themselves, not the Overwatch Esports side, they've actually timed it really nicely, right? To have, and it's actually really good, I think, that Blizzard have done something where they've sort of set up the Overwatch Esports scene to be almost, I guess, in many ways, like a major promotional tool for all their new content for the game, That's actually really sort of tying the casual and the pro audience together, Like, how many casuals do you think will end up watching some of these games just because it's like the chance to see, same as all the Spotlight creators, right? Just a chance to see these heroes played by the best for people who have learned them the quickest, everything like that. So I think there's way more positives than any minor negatives.
Yeah, I agree.
I assume we're releasing this podcast after the 8th.
After the 8th?
In 2 days.
The 8th? Yeah. Alpha's going to edit it on the plane, he said. So he'll be doing it on Sunday.
Because what the word on the street is that Blizzard is actually also mandating that every team streams their scrims. Every scrim block before the tournament on the new patch has to be streamed. At least one person has to stream it, yeah. So that's actually like tons of new content, to be fair. Like, I mean, I've been team streaming scrims for a while.
That's news to me as the co-streamer for my org.
Same. Yeah, I mean...
No, I don't think... Well, the players have to stream it, is my understanding.
Would this not be the perfect opportunity to use a partnered co-streamer to co-stream the team in question?
When did you hear this, Chris?
I heard this 20 minutes ago.
Like you got pinged in the Discord about it by Blizzard, or?
No, just in our Discord, people are talking about that's the word on the street.
It feels like something that you would be made aware of, no?
I only found out about all these rules yesterday too at the same time as the teams did, so maybe a lot of these decisions are last minute.
I was better though.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. I was just under a completely different impression that the first few days were going to be relatively like a sort of normal boot camp experience, I guess, for the teams, and then they were going to be like more showy bits, more like I forget. I know they have a couple of people in there doing like content and interviews and stuff. So I thought they were going to sort of, and the Korea casters, I think, are doing like a preview show or something on like the day before the tournament. So I thought they were going to build into that rather than streaming all the scrims. I mean, I think it's a good thing, but I'm now also very conscious that maybe I need to clear everything I had planned in for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I should actually just be, do we need to piggyback in this, Max?
I don't I don't really know. I asked about the that thing in particular, like the announcement show on the 10th, and it was like it doesn't really seem like something that is even possible for me to co-stream realistically. Yeah, I mean, if they're streaming scrims, like I gotta tap in on that, right?
Yeah.
Like that's days.
My guess is it's only going to be done through one player's POV, and I mean, I guess they could get you like access to the build or something in theory, if you guys wanted to do like the overheads or whatever. But
we probably can't get access to the build. I think that would be too locked down. But I'm thinking just like as in watch for streams, if that makes sense. Like if Falcons are streaming their scrim, then watch that stream.
Yeah, it seems like there's a huge limitation somewhere in there. Like, where are you hearing the fact that you're going to have to stream the scrims? Like, that's, I mean, you say it's the word on the street. Like, surely they'd ping you in the Discord if that was the rule, right? Like, that's.
They didn't ping. Well, we're not in any Discord because we're not going to the tournaments.
Ah, of course, because you're SSG.
We don't have an inside man.
Yeah, I forgot your SSG. Hopeless.
It's a trusted source. It's the same source that told me.
Sorry?
What's your rule saying about it?
You're following Yubi's Instagram story.
Oh, yeah, let me just ask my guys. You know, I got a few guys on the line.
My guess is they'll get pushback on this. That's what I think. I think the players will give pushback on it. I can't imagine TM are going to willingly stream their scrims, given it TM's history. But
I don't know, like, what do they have to hide? Like, it's not even.
I agree with you, but do you think they're going to push back?
I mean, it's a bit of a shame if there's no way for us to watch these scrims, that, you know, there's like a partnered streaming program and then a disconnect between that and being able to watch the lead into the tournament. But, you know, we can like restream other people's Twitch streams or something like that, I suppose. But it'd be nice if we could like go and spec.
Yeah. Or even if there was like somebody specking or just like giving us a clean feed type thing, or, you know, something like a little bit more.
Because they're going to scrim on an OPR build, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out offline, and then by the time you're watching this, maybe you're watching our Twitch stream at the same time, and it's all happening simultaneously.
Entirely possible.
Entirely possible. I guess with all of that as well, that kind of makes any sort of bracket prediction or tournament prediction about who's going to do well early or anything like that kind of all a little bit of a moot point, because it's all going to be, one, pure chaos in terms of all new heroes, and two, I think there'll be I'd say less serious nature, I think, because there's so much sort of experimenting going on. Like, I'm sure once the teams are there and playing on stage, you know, people are locked in, but there's still going to be like it's not going to be like I guess a high stakes tournament like the major lands we're going to see throughout the year. So anything Spotlight related that we haven't touched on, haven't covered, or you think is worth? I know there was some other stuff, and that was like there were some stadium updates and everything like that, but no sort of interest or relevance to the esport in that one.
No, I think we've spotlighted it up.
Yeah, I think
we spotted it. Nice. Okay. So now we'll do the various rosters. Obviously, out of all the, I guess, major rosters, there's Nightmare is not announced. I know they are featuring a team in Face It Masters, but the impression is they're also trying to build a real team. I think Sakura, or that old core of players, is also going to form a team in some form, but I don't think that's announced or the exact roster or anything like that. So I'll go through all the teams that don't have rosters. OWCS are believed to be having a roster together, but also not announced. There's also another team in EMEA that is going to have a roster, but it's not yet announced. So we'll be stuck without those ones. And obviously, all of those teams we just mentioned aren't in the partner program or aren't going to the bootcamp. So they have ages to get their rosters together. So those are all the teams that we can't talk about. We can talk about all the other teams. And what we'll do is we'll go through all the new rosters and we'll play a game. And the game is basically we talk about a roster and then we decide whether or not they should have signed cuFFa instead. And then hopefully we can plant an idea in the right person's head at the right time, and we can get this young man a job. So should we start with North America then? So obviously we talked about SSG's roster already. Team Liquid, I believe, has expected no changes, so not much news there. Then the two new partner teams are the big ones. Return of Dallas Fuel, which is going to be Kellen and Sunjin, the two Korean imports, and then Chronic, CJ, and Luke Mino with Wheats and Yong coaching.
Any thoughts?
It's a roster.
Should cuFFa have been on this roster?
Should cuFFa have been on this roster instead of Kellen?
Well, probably.
Yeah,
probably.
I think so.
But I actually think I quite like Fuel's roster. I actually think from like a roster building perspective, you have to look at like the pieces they had in play in terms of like
works to solve.
Like what's left in NA. And then what I also think is quite good is like two things. One, like I feel they almost, because they take CJ and Luke, they kind of kill DSG at the same time because they also then take the last remaining flex support options, whilst also I think those two probably have like the highest peak as mechanical players. I think one thing that we maybe didn't touch on, but this idea of supports is like main support and flex support, but that idea is only because certain players can only play certain heroes. As new heroes come out, like these heroes aren't like, in theory, CJ and Luke should be able to learn both the Cat and Mizuki or whatever the name is, you know? And actually all of a sudden, two new supports is really good for a backline, which on paper has like one or two flexibility weaknesses, you know? All of a sudden there might be so many like possible backlines they can play where they're actually not limited at all by the fact that they don't have a Lucio player. I also think on paper, this is a roster which like, if they want to punch up to top two, they need to have strengths which other teams don't. And I look at this roster and it's like the opposite strengths of ours. Do you know what I mean? Like they have like the double flex support and they have the dive tank, which is the opposite of SSG. So there looks like on paper, there should be some meta roles where they can do well. So I think given everything, like they should have got cuFFa, but I kind of like the rebuild. I think it ticks most of the boxes required.
I think my biggest worry with this team is who's like in charge of this in terms of in-game leader. Like I feel like Chronic is quite a quiet player. I think CJ quite a quiet player. I don't know so much about Luke, but my impression is slightly quiet, and I think Kellen and Sunjin as well. So I don't really know where the sort of directional leadership comes from in game in this roster. I feel like that's like the biggest concern.
Yeah, I thought this team's culture would be really, really weird. There's no like big central character that like pulls all the lads together and gets them over the line, unless that's Sonjin. Maybe it's Sonjin, who knows? But yeah, it feels like these mixed rosters, they always suffer from the same problems in terms of like, you know, there are difficulties surrounding language and people needing to live overseas and this, that, the other. And this team with like an absence of a leader could really just be like ripe for an implosion at some point, because you know it's really, really hard when you're in that position, and you know if things don't go well, then you really need someone to pull you out of that.
Yeah, I think reasonable.
They needed cuFFa.
Needed cuFFa.
Well, low-key was kind of chalked for the beginning, like from the beginning for Fuel, because like I mean, like my off season was like Dennis messaged me like pretty early on. Like actually, really, it was helpful that he said it like really. He was like, "Yo, like Oliver, UV, and I, we're going to SSG. Like we've already signed." And I was like, "All right, bet." And then like I messaged Will. I was like, "Fuck it." Like I was like home over Christmas as well. It was like the first proper time being home in like over a year. So like my focus wasn't really Overwatch in that time. Like I was just trying to like catch up with like family and friends and shit, because like heaps of stuff had happened since I was gone. So like I was just like trying to enjoy like my time back home, like seeing people. And then that happened. I was like, oh fuck, like I kind of need to like ask around, like try to get shit sorted. So like I reached out to Will, and like we were trying to like make something, and like I mean, we knew like the slots that were available. We were like, okay, like Fuel's probably like the best bet to start from. And so like we were like sort of building a roster, like trying to get a roster. Like we wanted Luke as well to start, and then like we were like, okay, like CJ Chronic, like that's a good roster. Like us five, we just like go with that roster, like we're chilling. And then so like we started reaching out to people. Luke was like down, but he'd only play if we had an off tank as well. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like we can try to get like Vistola or like some other off tank that like, you know, because I understand like having just me, especially based on like how the last third of the year went with like Diva and like shit, like my characters just weren't that good. I was like, yeah, this is completely understandable. Like, I'm fine to share playtime if it means we have like a better chance of doing well throughout the year. So then Luke was like, yeah, he won't join unless we get the off tank. And then I start messaging like CJ and or like we start talking to CJ and Chronic. I think Will was messaging them, and they're like, oh, we only want to play as Northwood. Like, we want to get on Fuel as Northwood. I was like, okay, these guys are fucking stupid. Like, why are they trying to get on Fuel as Northwood? Like, no flame, but like Northwood couldn't even win collegiate. How is this supposed to be like a competitive partner roster? I mean, like, it'd still be decent, but it's like not going to be the best option you can get, especially with like an org like Fuel. So that like kind of just started falling through, and I was like, okay, this is kind of chalked. And then everyone kind of like started like ghosting, just like not responding to like shit I was saying for ages. And I was like kind of getting the feeling, I was like, okay, this is kind of fucked. And then I heard that like Wheats was getting onto Fuel. So I reached out to Wheats about it because like I was on his team for like the whole of last year. And I was like, yo, like, what are you guys doing with Fuel? Like, what's the plan? It's like, oh, I want Kellen and a Korean flex DPS. And so instantly I was like, okay, like it's fucked. Like, he doesn't want Will or me, and Will's the only person I want to build a team with because like I trust Will. Like, we worked together like a lot of last year, and I think he's like the best flex DPS option available to start a team with. So then Fuel is gone, and it's like, okay, this is fucked. And then I'm speaking to Will a little bit, and then I think like a few days later, like Luke joins Fuel or whatever, and he says like he's leaving collegiate. So like our collegiate team explodes at the same time, and then Will said he's trialing for DS. Huh?
Is he graduating?
No, he's just leaving to go to Fuel. Like, he doesn't want to have like the commitments of like collegiate lands at the same time. But the collegiate lands is after the semester ends anyway, so it's kind of like.
Wait, how long did he have left on his degree?
Couldn't have been long. He's at Maryville for ages.
He was, I think he had like a year and a bit, like a year and a half. So like
he
in
dropped
theory,
out altogether, like quit his scholarship, or can he pick it back up after?
Nah, our scholarship's like, well, that's the thing. Like, we're in like a waiting game, right, of whether our scholarships get renewed. Like, this is technically our last semester, so like, I'm fucked if it doesn't get renewed. Like, I go home, there's no chance of doing anything competitively in Overwatch again, right? Realistically. So we're just waiting for that to go through, and then like 3 days before the semester starts, he just says he's leaving, and then Will also at the same time, like, he was trialing for DSG, and I think they offered him like $800 a month, and it was like a not really a competitive roster, like pretty low chances of making land. So it's like, fuck this. Like, why would I join an NA team that like I don't have like that much? I mean, I can't speak for him, but like I feel like this is how I see it. It's like he just go back home. So yeah, he doesn't go back to ISU. He goes back home. Probably, I think he's on the team in Europe now. So then everything like explodes, and then it's just like DSG would like message me a few times, but like, they already had Painkiller, and then PG would talk to me a lot, and he's like, yo, like, what are you doing? Like, you want to come second tank? And I was like, yeah, I'm down, but like I need money for rent and shit. Like, ideally, like I'm making at least somewhat human money to like pay rent and like do a few other things. And it's like, I'm kind of like, I don't really have much confidence in like making lands with this roster. And like realistically, like I want to play if I'm making lands because that's like the funnest part of Overwatch, at least for me. I think for most people. So yeah, it was kind of just like cooked from the beginning, realistically. There was like no chance. I mean, Liquid already had roster, SSG already had a roster, and then Fuel, we just said he wants Kellen. I was like, okay, it's fucked.
Can we come back to one bit here where Luke said he wouldn't join a team unless there was an off-tank player, and then ends up on a team with Kellen solo tank?
Yeah, so
money talks. Money talks.
When I heard about that, I was like, what the fuck? Like, are we dead ass? Like, you said this to me and then you do that, but like, I mean, it's whatever, bro. Like,
he just wanted someone that was a bit better at Hazard, mate. Like,
like Winston is like such a promised hero that's just shit, you know? Like, it's just so fucking irrelevant.
Every year it gets worse, mate.
Yeah. But somehow it still like carries so much weight. I feel like that is the weirdest part of the team is Kellen, right? Like all of the deals that you have to do with Kellen. Like I feel if you have a double flex support roster, like one of the comps that you need to be good at is like a Bapalari or like Kiri Wu style comps. And 9 times out of 10, I swear that's better with an off tank, you know, or like a ball tank or something. But yeah, like but 9 times out of 10 it is like a Ram or a Sigma. So it does feel somewhere that there's like.
Oh, Kellen's good at SIG, to be. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so.
How's he at Dominant?
It's probably worse.
Does he have good aim, Kellen?
He doesn't have like great aim, but he's good at SIG.
Wow. We'll see about that. I reckon he's gonna get beaten up on Sig in NA. That's my guess.
I mean, he was fucking. There was that open scrim between what is it, Winthrop? Yeah, there was an open scrim between Winthrop and Fuel, and Kellen was fucking dominating Kaluj on the Sig. Kaluj is done. He fucked him.
Is he washed up?
Kaluj touched the game like the last year.
Kaluj is probably on the cut or something, bro. Let's think of an excuse for him.
Yeah.
I remember that World Cup thing.
It just wasn't it.
So yeah, my conclusion with Dallas is I feel like they're like top 4, probably 3rd in NA, but there's like a tier break between them and Liquid and SSG.
Yeah,
I hope so.
You hope so. Yeah.
That fucking 50 healing that Winston's going to get if he spends 0.8 seconds in the air, it may actually do you in, Chris.
Kellen, get in the sky. Get in the sky. There's help up there.
In the time that it takes for you to proc the heal, Chronic has bolted you 3 times. Like, it's just...
And any like piece of damage reduces that by 30%. You know, because I always do the sky jumps when I play ranked. So maybe it's like they saw my gameplay and they thought we'll give them a buff, you know?
Reasonable.
Nah, there's no way anyone could watch your gameplay, Chris, and think these heroes need a buff.
That's true.
Then the final partner team in North America was DSG, and this one came with a load of baggage in this team. So the final roster that they settled on, quite a hefty roster, is Tread from Genji last year, Riker, who I guess like makes his return, but expected, I think, very much to be mostly a sub on this. Rocket, PGE, and Razor, again with I think Razor's expected to be the sort of backup role in this, and then Skyle and Lep on support, and then coaching is, let me just get this list up.
The Avengers.
It's a little bit more Suicide Squad than Avengers, I think, but it's by Zenith, Cap, McGravy, and Zay, and I believe technically by Zenith is the ringleader of this.
Yeah, I mean this roster has to be like 4th/5th, I think. I don't see the upside in this one compared to Fuel, and I think all of the stuff about the tier break still exists, and if this team makes a LAN, it would be, I think, an incredible result.
Yeah,
I think it'd be like super fortunate. Do we want to talk about the by Zenith painkiller?
I was going to say, should we do? Yeah, because like
should.
The roster itself probably doesn't. The actual final roster they settled on doesn't generate like a huge amount of discussion. They'll probably relatively like solid mid-table. But where do we want to start with this, right? Because if you were following any of the rumors throughout the last couple of months, you might have heard a new DSG roster every day. And it wasn't because these rumors were necessarily wrong. It's just there was regular updates to who was actually on the roster. And there were lots of shenanigans here. So help me out and fill me in with any details I missed. But I feel like the big points are, initially, I think it was PK and Ryan who were signed and early on in the team. And they were actually, I want to say, offered a contract. And then later on, other players are getting involved. And obviously, they're talking to other players and trying to get other players on. And then enters, I guess, the people who are being painted as the villain of the piece. We'll get to the bottom of who the real villains are. But Rocket and By Zenith enter, and they sort of come as a package deal from the way it's framed. So then they come in, and then I think one of or both of them, Rocket really wants By Zenith, and then they don't necessarily want Painkiller, and they don't necessarily want Ryan, obviously, if they get in Rocket, because overlapping roles. And then this is where it gets really muddled, where Ryan and PK get the boot, and By Zenith and Rocket come in, and then the roster forms around that. And that's like my recollection from memory. So did I miss anything or any major events in all of this? I'll get the thread up while we speak.
But the key part is that, at least, I don't know if it's the same for Ryan, but like Painkiller had signed something, right? Like it wasn't like he was like verbally on the roster or like agreed, or was like he was, as far as he was aware, he was signed, like he was on it, and then his contract got tore up, is my understanding of the situation, which I think is maybe where it's a little bit dubious or a little bit unethical.
Yeah. How does that, like, did he just like get completely cut and doesn't get paid? Like, are they able to just like fuck him over and just like not have to pay out the rest of the contract? Like, how does that?
Esports contracts are literally not worth the paper they're written on.
Yeah.
So I guess he just probably didn't have that and just I mean, you wouldn't like. There's no reason to expect that to happen before the fucking first tournament even starts. Like that's just insane that happened.
Oh yeah, just reading through it again. So yeah, PG was actually the first person through the door, and PG was just locked from day one. And then Painkiller comes in.
I think it's crazy how almost worthless the esports contracts are now, to be honest. Like the idea that you can sign a contract where it's like, you know, they can essentially cut you without cause and without a payout. That's just like beyond ridiculous, no? Like what's even the point of you signing a contract to begin with if that's the terms that you're signing? Like it's so one-sided that no cause, no pay, no nothing. Like just, you know, here's a contract at any point for any reason we can remove you. It might as well not be a contract. It's like, it's so employer-sided at that point that like you might as well scribble it on a napkin, it feels like. It's I don't know, it's too much.
It's definitely predatory. Like,
I mean, predatory doesn't even begin to describe it at that point.
Like they know that these players really want to get on a partner team because it increases their chances tenfold of like having any sort of success throughout the year. And it's like a guaranteed some sort of income, albeit it's not that much, but it's like guaranteed salary. Well, I guess it wasn't guaranteed at the end of the day, but yeah, it's pretty fucked.
Maybe you got like 1 month salary or something. Like maybe there was like I mean, from what the sounds of it, yeah, exactly. It sounds like the salaries weren't significant anyway. So hopefully they at least paid him out $800 to tell him to
tell him to keep it quiet.
Yeah, well, clearly not.
So to clarify the order a little bit, PG was in, signed to the roster. PK was in next, signed to the roster. Then they were trying to get Rocket and Lep. Rocket was like, I'm going to go with Zenith wherever he goes. Wherever he goes, partner team, not partner team, I'll go with Zenith wherever he goes. At which point, the org's trying to negotiate to get Zenith and Rocket in. They kind of agree, but Zenith doesn't want PK. At which point, I guess the org changes its mind and gets rid of PK. I don't know exactly where Ryan fits into this. Maybe that was I know Cap did a thing talking about it as well, so maybe that's muddled in that as well. It all just feels really shit. Like the person I feel worst for, the person I feel worst for is PK and Ryan because they're the ones most directly screwed. But after that, I just feel like for a brand new organization disguised coming into Overwatch for the first time, what a fucking shit show that has been arranged for them by the people they've hired. Like what a horrible first impression this is to Overwatch. Like imagine if I don't want to speak for Disguised Toast, I've never met the guy, but I can only feel I would personally, if I was in this situation, I'd be pretty annoyed at all this nonsense and all this bad publicity that has been generated when my team hasn't even played a game yet. So it just feels like a really horrendous management. Whether I'm sure the org was technically legally allowed to cancel the contracts or whatever, like we're not in, maybe any crime has been committed here, but unethical, shitty for the players, and just paints Disguised in a bad light. Or the people running Disguise in a bad light.
Especially ironically, considering they're I guess one of the few orgs that has like a specific, like they hired Albert, right, as like a specific Overwatch general manager. Like SSG don't have an Overwatch general manager, they just have management, you know? So they hired someone specifically to run the Overwatch team whose only job was to do this, and then still there's only one team with, but you know, it's happened before, hasn't it, you know? Happened before.
So yeah, really unfortunate. And yeah, I think the roster will just be mid-table. I think you know the sort of experiment you did, Chris, of like, is there a meta where Dallas Fuel can punch up or be a real contender? If I try and run that experiment on this one, I think I'm having a really tough time to find like where they'd have like a significant advantage over any of the big teams. And then before we move on, should cuFFa have been on this team?
Yeah, I would say so.
I mean, cuFFa, it sounds like cuFFa could have been on this team. It's just a money problem, if anything, right? Like,
well, I mean, they only really wanted me for like second tank, and then like even then it was just
it was only second, right? Yeah, I forgot like, PG was whispering sweet nothings in your ear for you to be second fiddle to PK, which is
Yeah, like I don't want to be a second tank of a roster that like has like pretty low chances of making LAN, and then I'm also not even guaranteed playtime. Like I feel like it's pretty fucking stupid for me to sign any sort of contract to lock myself into that situation.
These contracts don't lock you into anything, cuFFa. Don't worry.
No, they do. They do
actually lock you in. It's just you can't get out unless they want to get rid of you. Yeah. So I mean, like, I think like for me, it's just like I could join this team for fucking no money and lock myself onto a bench spot, which would make fucking 0 sense. But I'd be on a partner team, or I could just like thug it out, chill a bit for stage 1. Maybe something happens in some other team and I have like a better opportunity elsewhere. But I don't know, like no point for me to go down that path. I think it just like only diminished my like. I mean, I don't think I have like insane image, but like I just don't want to join a team like that. Like I feel like that's reasonably.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. All right, then we'll hit the other 2, I guess, major players in North America, which I think they might be finalized but not officially announced. So I think we've probably got a reasonable-ish read. The first one is Sakura, though I'm pretty confident they're not going to be playing as Sakura, but it's for sort of core players from last season. So now it's going to be Zeb, cuFFa, Zomba, X10, Z, and Nenwai, which actually seems just like an upgraded version of the Sakura team from last year. Added cuFFa to give them, I guess, that other option up front. And also Zomba and X10, I think, probably one of the more exciting, I guess, up-and-coming North American DPS duos. And I think, actually, Z and Nenwai, pretty good backline as far as, like, options go, you know? I think this team is super close, if not better than Undisguised.
I like this way more DSG. I think it has... Yeah, younger players play together. Like I feel like on most roles, I would expect this team to actually get top 4 over DSG, if not for an insane coaching gap potentially.
Yeah, like everything I heard about DSG, like I think they wanted Z, maybe they wanted Zomba at some point. Well, I don't think that as much. Like I think it was like some package deals. Like Z would only join DSG if Zomba and Zeb went as well. So like they really want Z, but then they can't get Z because of the package deal. And then I think this Sakura roster has like a much higher chance of like upset potential, but also like probably like less pressure as well, like not being a partnered org, even though it's like not like as full on as like the other partner teams in the region. But like I feel like the Sakura roster has like definitely more potential to go further in some like any of the stages.
Yeah. All right.
Agreed.
Then should cuFFa have been on this team? I guess instead of cuFFa.
Actually, maybe not. Actually, maybe not somehow. I feel like this team is like all friends, and I feel like this is kind of a. Not that I'm saying you wouldn't have made it better, but I feel like this is like this team kind of works together, you know?
Yeah, like I mean, I really only wanted to play if it was like for a partner team, so I have like income to pay for rent and shit. So like
you're just obsessed with paying your rent, cuFFa. You need to
I am obsessed with paying.
You really need to stop focusing on irrelevant shit like rent, bro.
Yeah, maybe I should just like play for free and just like
I don't know.
Like,
You should do
when
it
we go to China and I get like $3,000
$3,000
because the prize pool is like 20 grand for third. It's like,
it's all
game
right.
doesn't pay that well unless you're partnered.
I mean, even if you are partnered, like you could wind up on a DSG wage, so it could always be worse.
Exactly.
Sometimes you're partnered and you're not as partnered.
Like, fuck.
At that point, maybe the firing's a blessing in disguise. Come on, that was some of my better work, surely. Then, no credit.
I get it.
There.
Okay.
You got it. Chrissy got there.
I got it.
It slipped under us.
Then I think that does us for North America. Obviously, there's Face It Masters play stuff happening right now, so a few of those teams will be in the later stages of the Open qualifier, and that we'll see in a couple of weeks' time as well. So it's still all up for grabs, nothing guaranteed for no sort of Nightmare Sakura type rosters. Then EMEA. Remind me, did we talk about Virtus.pro last time? Anyone with a functional memory?
No, we didn't, because we cut the...
Oh, we cut it because Psycho thought... we had Psycho on, but he thought it was being announced. So so Virtus.pro is announced, technically announced for our last episode, but Psycho tricked us because he had the wrong release date for the announcement. But Virtus.pro is going to be Ice from last year, Psycho and Kevster, with Kevster taking up the Hitscan mantle, then Landon and Fixer, and Smash still coaching.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
I think Ice is definitely like one of the most promising players coming out of like the new gen EU players. Like he can play like pretty much everything. Like he has like a good like mix between the off tanks and the main tanks, and you know he's like young and hungry to prove himself. So I think like based off that, and like I mean Kevster's gonna be fucking Kevster. Like I think if people like doubting his hit scan ability, like you're actually just a client.
Agreed.
It was
see like what
Reddit,
Labdo was doing when he swapped to hit scan. Like if you think Kev can't like put up similar like performances, if not better, like you're actually just a happy client.
Yeah, people were going big on Reddit
insane.
talking about it. Like, Kev won't be able to do it. I've not seen it. You know, like these people don't seem to have any kind of concept of picturing something they haven't directly seen with their own eyes. But eventually they'll get to that stage of cognition. But like, yeah, like I think Kev goes immediately. I think like maybe he won't be as good as Quartz, right? But also, I think that's just on the basis that Quartz might just be the best, right? Like, they should have signed someone better than Quartz, idiots. But I think he goes in immediately around the Lubza tier, you know, like contention for like second best in the region and, you know, all of that. So I think, yeah, no worries about Kev here.
Yeah, I saw like a fair bit about people saying like, why didn't VP get Exodial? And like maybe that also ties into his agent as well. Like I don't know like the details of VP or whether they just wanted Kev hit scan from the start. But maybe that also played a factor in why Exodial wasn't on this team. But also at the same time, like I think Kev's hit scan is going to be insane. Like so.
Yeah, I think I really like on paper the idea of like 2 flex DPS in a meta where there's like 3 new DPS heroes that are coming out, like Vendetta I'm including with the 2 new ones because obviously it hasn't really been played in pro play. So I think all of a sudden there's like I could see that DPS lineup actually it being really nice, you know, like whatever the meta ends up being. So I'm pretty high on it in general.
I think everything we said about Dallas and like worried about like who's leading that team. I actually look at this VP roster and I think with like Psycho and Landon, I feel like they've actually gained like maybe Landon in particular, like a really vocal player in game, and Psycho I think has like a lot of leadership qualities you'd call them, both like intangibles in and out of games. So I actually feel like this roster now has all the talent, and maybe where the VP roster last year didn't have as much of a clear leader, maybe especially when Shockwave wasn't in the starting lineup, this one feels like it has more voices and more leadership built into the team. Yeah,
I'm pretty high on this VP roster this year.
Yeah, I think I think at least top 2.
Yeah, I think that maybe the only it feels a bit harsh, but maybe Ice ends up being the biggest question mark on this. Like, is it not in terms of is he good, but is he better than TVNT or better than Ziad? Like, because that's the competition, right? Yeah. So that's maybe like the toughest test for Ice. But I think out of all the tanks in EMEA, Ice is the closest to those guys and the most likely to be able to overtake them, especially on like certain heroes that he's good at as well.
Yeah, I agree. He's young and hungry, so
he's going to be a good Domina.
Yum.
Had to read the name. Excited for our stream to be just hot wank next week as well, Max, as we don't know any of the names of the abilities of the heroes.
No, I can't do, because I was casting the face at NA, right? And like every time Vendetta's on screen, I just don't know her ability names. It's like
something
with a spin, sundering. I've been calling it sundering slash, so already wrong there. Yeah, you know more than me. I need like a cheat sheet.
I'll make us a cheat sheet, mate. I'll make us a cheat. I
think usually the way this works is like I don't know them and you say them to me repeatedly until I learn them. So when I'm doing like a solo cast, I just never get any closer. I'm just like actually reinforcing bad habits by saying the wrong abilities over and over and over again. So I'm really not helping my case at all.
Do you want me to? I'll get like a little like Pavlovian bell and I'll ring it when you say the right name. Would that help?
Yeah, that works.
Or maybe you'll just,
that works.
Or you might just start salivating. I don't know how the bells work.
I don't know, you can start like fucking electrocuting me if I say them wrong or something too. You know, we can
get a little dog collar on you.
That'd be a great feature on the stream. I get a shock you every time you say the ability name wrong.
That should be fucking good.
Looking into this as we speak.
Yeah.
So we'll hit the other EMEA teams, and this might be in a cut that or not cut that section. I'm going to need help with... Oh, wait, did we talk about Geekay, actually?
Yeah, GK's announced, right?
Geekay we should talk about, because that one is announced. That one will definitely go in. So Ziad, Lubda, Finn, Haku, and Alpha Yi. Yeah, so this is probably the roster that's got the most attention, the most people taking the piss so far. Most people aiming that piss at the backline as well with this one, as the bit that doesn't fit in. So what's the take here in terms of power level? Because obviously, I feel like the front three, if you want to call them that, the DPS and the tank, are like undisputable quality.
I think it's clearly a high quality roster. Like, there's enough good players in there. It just feels like EMEA in general is so competitive that it doesn't take a genius to work out why most people don't think this roster can win. I guess there's also, there's tons of reasons why it might be slightly awkward. You've got the Koreans and Saudi thing that we talk about all the time. Who's the head coach for this team? Is it announced?
Aid, yeah.
Aid. So
I'm actually quite excited for that. Yeah. He's got a big job, but yeah, I don't know. It feels like it's a pretty good roster, but you could also see this being the type of roster which like could drift into 4-4-5 depending on what happens. I think if I'm more worried, like, I guess obviously everyone's pointing at Haku here as the potential problem. I think, to be fair, once you get outside of like Astro and Fixer, I think you get into a really awkward position in terms of main support quality within the region. I mean, Fixer is also quite literally Korean in that list as well. So you get into a problem quite fast in terms of high quality players. I'm probably more worried. We talked about Dallas and we said like, who's the guy bringing the team together? Like, I look at this roster and I just worry as well. Like, who's the guy bringing them all together with like the language barriers and stuff? Yeah, I think you're right. Like, I think I've got a lot of time for Aid. He always seems to be, on teams that do well and seem well coached. But I think this is like a big job to turn this into like a successful roster. Like, when I say successful, I mean they probably get like third or fourth anyway, just through quality. But can they beat a TM? Can they beat a VP? That's the bit I'm not convinced about.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like an upwards, like a tough ask to get first or second. But I mean, who knows? Maybe Finn and Haku are just like Thanos together, and their team has.
Oh my god! There's this viewer in my Twitch chat, and his Twitch username is like camel0_0.
Yes, the world's biggest Haku fan. Yes, oh my god, he's been in my chat. He's been in the Discord. He's been everywhere talking about Haku.
He's so obsessed with gassing up Haku to the point of like absolute absurdity. He's like, do you think that Haku is on the same level as Charong? And I'm like, absolutely fucking not, man. What are you talking about? And he's like, they play the same heroes. And I'm like, it's main support. They all have to pick the heroes. Like, that doesn't mean that they're the same level. I said, I don't think Haku's even the best main support in Saudi Arabia. I think Oi's better than him. And he's like, just perma defending Haku to the death. It's like they subbed Haku out for a 40-year-old man and became like one of the best teams in the world instantly. And this guy's still on the Haku train.
Well, on that note, AOI or AOY, whatever his name is, he is on Geekay, but he's just like director of operations or something. Yeah,
I don't know. Like the way these Saudi guys roll, it's just like they'll have a player like Oi, and he'll just be everywhere. Like, I remember when I went to the 2023 LAN, it's like Oi was on the opposing team to Twisted Minds. So the day before the match, he's just at the Twisted Minds practice facility for the whole day, like just hanging out, watching the scrims. He's not scrimming with his own team before Saudi E-League. He's just watching Twisted scrim for the 30 minutes of scrims that they could be bothered to show up to for the day, and then going out and getting cuFFa with the boys. Like, it's just, I don't know. They're all just chilling. And, now he's a director of operations. I swear that guy was like the best main support out of Saudi Arabia, but yeah. Everyone's just hanging out with their mates in that scene.
I've got time for it, I wish everyone watching this podcast right now, at some point in their life, find someone who believes in them as much as Camel believes in Haku. Because if that happens, then everyone's truly going to live a blessed life. So yeah, Geekay, I think there's a huge variation in how well these guys can do, right? They could beat these top teams, or they could get relegated, or they could internally collapse. So I think this is big job for Aid. We forgot to do it for the last one, but should cuFFa have been on this team?
Absolutely.
Sorry, cuFFa. Might be in a bit of a pickle with the VP spot as well, but
yeah, EU's tricky for you, mate. Okay. Korea will be even harder when we get to Korea.
Yeah, but wait till we get to China. Then all of a sudden.
Did you guys see Mags on the roster in China today?
Yes.
Which roster is it?
GG.
JDG? Yeah.
You're kidding. I did not see that.
They have Gaga, Mag, and Liga. They have 3 tanks.
No way they have the 3-headed dragon. That's fucking crazy, actually. And Gaga's pretty old, so like I could see him sitting on the bench for Mag, but it's also
for
Mag,
young up and comer that is Mag.
Mag just needs 1 more year. Like he's actually the slingshot is there.
Oh my god, it's not even a yo-yo. He's just permanently down.
More of like a bowling ball, would you say?
Dude, he had such good like hype up, like heading into Washington that year.
In 2019.
Wait! Oh my god, Max, you have to see this. Max, you have to. Let me find. Did you see? I guess you didn't see the roster announcement, so you didn't see the tweet as well. Did you see the picture they used of Mag?
Oh god, show me.
Oh god, there's so much fucking competitive Overwatch. Where is he? They used one from like here we go.
Oh my god, it's from like 2019.
This is like a runaway picture. Yeah, this is from like at least like 5 years ago or something.
They're trying to like bring back that aura he had.
They're trying to manifest it.
What era is this from?
I think this is Runaway. I think you're right. I think it's Runaway.
I think it's Runaway.
Yeah.
Because when he went to Washington, I mean, he lived in America.
Because it was like T1 asked me for a new headshot when I sent them the one that I did because I think they couldn't be asked like photoshopping around my hair because it's a fucking mess. But like I said, like I'm not going to send them like an old picture of myself. Well, I sent them a really old one, like the one of me as a skinhead, and apparently that didn't fly. But other than that, like
happens to me all the time.
I don't want to send an old one because it's like I'm almost 30 now. I don't want to send a picture when I'm like 22. But apparently for AG, not a concern at all for Mag. They're gonna send one from a different fucking century for this guy. Like that is not the same person we see today.
Well, we'll segue and do AGG quickly because I don't think we'll have too much to talk about. But some of you might have noticed there are 9 players here, which is too many.
More than the rules.
And Koreans.
This is their Bootcamp roster, and they've got 3 Koreans. So the implication here is, of everyone we see, there's actually 8 as well, so I can't count either. But there's 8 players, and there's 1 too many Koreans. So not everyone we see here is going to make it to stage 1.
Is it a Hunger Games situation?
So I think it might be a Hunger Games situation here because it's their Bootcamp roster, so obviously in a slightly bigger size. So we'll see who they take through to the final roster, but 3 Koreans doesn't add up. So cuFFa, Viper, and Mag, someone's going to be on the chopping block, you know. And
wait, what role does Recall play?
Support. So they've got 3 supports, 3 tanks, 2 DPS. So I reckon Viper's safe. You know, it seems really egregious if we're going to cut one of our only 2 DPS. So I think Mag and cuFFa might be in some kind of last person standing situation. So
it's really just going to be a question of who's hungrier between Mag and cuFFa.
Yes.
I think we know who that's going to be.
Hungry cuFFa. Any other thoughts? Big thoughts on the roster on AG? Anything like that?
Not even little thoughts. I don't really have
not even little thoughts. Not even a pass.
No, I'm not thinking at all.
They should just play Liga like everywhere. I think that's my thoughts.
Yeah,
they should play Mag everywhere and change the team around him.
Okay, should we hit Korea then? So
let's hit Korea.
All right. So a lot of these are probably going to be expected rosters where they've not been officially announced, but there's only so many pieces and so many spots left. Now, I think a lot of people have filled in the blanks. But we'll start with the team who have made it official. Unter's new home alongside Poco. They're sharing a bunk bed at the T1 facility. And the team they're going to be cheering on all year is going to be Donghak, Jasmine, Zest, Proud, so all from last year. Skewed, also from last year. But Bliss has come in here as well as for support, which means Skewed is going to be taking up the mantle of flex support. So
Blissy.
we'll go to our T1 expert. And what's the take on this new roster announcement?
Yeah, I feel like there had to have been some sort of like insane fuckery going on in the off season with flex supports in Korea, because like it seems as if, you know, Vigi has run away, and then like all of these Korean teams, I think they were all fighting over players for like a really, really long time to try and hammer down their rosters, because their announcements have all come so late, and I think it must have to do with the flex support thing. And you can see like with T1's roster that they've wound up with now, that it seems like they've just not been able to get any of the like really hot flex supports. Like they couldn't retain Vigi, I suppose, and they couldn't get Shu. So instead what they've had to do is they've had to re-roll Skewed back to flex support and get a main support instead. Because like there's still main supports on the market, like Bliss was still there, but one would assume that they would have been pursuing one of the other flex supports, you know? It just didn't play that way. I'm not sure if like, maybe they even might have gone after like Maka, something like that.
I heard he was rumored for them for a while.
Yeah, because I'm not sure about like
he was
whether or not they were going after Maka.
Maka talks about it on his stream. He got offered by...
T1 offered him more money, right?
Yeah, T1 offered him more money than Weibo did, but he just got... I guess Maka's a bit of a vibes merchant, but he just got better vibes in terms of he thought Weibo were more interested and more keen to sign him, so he just went with that.
That's weird. That's weird that he would choose to go to China over T1.
Hold on. Maka was
I thought Korean players really wanted...
Because Maka was Way last year, right? Or whatever they were called.
Yeah.
GgulTaek. The Way coaches are on that Weibo team. So at that's probably like an influencing factor as well.
GgulTaek?
No, Dongsu and Damon.
Right. Yeah, it's probably that, right?
So that's probably why Weibo were able to secure this backline and why T1 have been essentially lost the off season, I guess. At least within Korea.
Can we censor that name, Max? It's just like a little trigger for me.
Does your head in a little bit, yeah.
No, I feel like T1 had the potential. Like it had the potential for it to be like T1's year. Like Dongak, fucking coming off a pretty good year.
Dongak and Proud.
Jasmine also incredible. Proud is like becoming like top 3 easily like right now. Like I feel like they had the potential to get Stalker and Shu or Maka or like any other flex support. And they're instantly like front runners for like the world, realistically. Like I think that is like the scariest roster if they manage to get those pieces. But there just must have been some like egregious fumbling from like some sort of negotiations, maybe like a financial standpoint. T1, because I have heard that T1 don't pay the most, like don't pay as much as other Korean partner teams. I'm not sure how true that is. Like that's just could be my span, but. It does feel like they definitely dropped the ball. Like, I feel like even if they didn't get Shu and they got Maka, like, Maka's still an incredible option. And then, if they could get Stalker, like, holy fuck. Like, Stalker, Proud, DPS line with, like, Jasmine, Dongak, tank line, and then, like, skewed Maka, like, skewed Shu. Like, how... You can't point to, like, any weak point in that roster that will, like, not be, like, top 3 internationally easily. I think that a lot of, like, bucklage in some regard. In the T1 this offseason.
I think it must be monetary, right? Just because like the roster you described there, it sounds like just a top spend roster at the end of the day. Yeah. You know, like if you're talking about having like Shu and Stalker on your team, then you must be spending like the absolute top dollar. Like these guys are really, really hot property. I'm not sure. Has Stalker's has he been announced anywhere yet?
No.
Because I think with Stalker, I'm not sure if we want to keep this in or cut this out. I think Stalker is still stuck under contract with Falcons is his problem. So he is still contracted to Falcons. So somebody's got to buy him. It's not just he has to go somewhere for money. It's he has to get bought from the richest org in the world in order to play, which is a real problem for like anyone that wants to have Stalker on side. I think there's rumors that Crazy Raccoon are thinking about buying him, or maybe they have bought him. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. But
it depends how much you want to buy in, because I feel like I remember hearing what felt like a fairly solid rumor ages ago, you know, before, because there was this whole sort of Stalker to T1 thing, Stalker to Twisted Minds. But I feel like I heard Stalker to Crazy Raccoon like almost straight away. Like I thought that was like a pretty early. I don't know about any of the contract stuff, obviously, but I felt like that was actually pretty early doors. And that was kind of on the cards, you know. And I feel like if I'm Stalker and like Crazy Raccoon offer, they're just immediately top of my list, you know, in terms of teams I want to go to.
I do think that it's not so much about him wanting to go to a particular place and more about org needing to accept a buyout for him. Like they know his value. They know that if they sell him, they have to play against him. So they don't have a great incentive as money doesn't really matter to them.
Yeah, it's just like that shit is just so cringe though. Like from like our perspective, just like seeing that, like one of the best players in the world is just stuck behind a contract on like the richest team in the world. It's just like it's so boring. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it makes sense realistically.
You have to imagine they'd sell him. Like, you know, even if money isn't a big deal to Falcons, like they have the unlimited budget, you'd have to imagine that they'd sell him just because it's like, I mean, it's just like the worst PR in the world ever, right? To like keep him on lock forever. But at the same time, you know, if they're like a competitive team, they need to get something out of it in order to let him go.
I mean, it would be an insane like tactical choice to sell one of the best players or give one of the best players in the world to one of your closest rivals, and you just do it out of the kindness of your heart.
It's like they're perma like dogfighting with Crazy Raccoon. It's like, yeah, let's give him to Crazy Raccoon.
Like it makes sense. It's just like a shitty situation.
Yeah. Well, should have gotten along better with Proper, mate.
I'm surprised like his contract is because I thought like all the Korean teams' contracts were expiring after Sweden. It's like I'm surprised his one was like longer than everyone else's. So.
Yeah, because I thought they were all on 2 years when they initially signed at the start of 2024.
Yeah, I did
maybe
see
it's like one of those violet length ones,
like,
you know?
Yeah, yeah. I saw something like maybe it ends in like February, so maybe he gets picked up.
Yeah, it could be like that, you know, because when did OWCS in 2024 start, right? Like when did they actually sign to Falcons? Because maybe they signed 2 year deals that extended 2 years calendar like, from like March or something. So like if he doesn't get sold, he can't participate in stage one because he will be not on any roster. So maybe because of the way that
they joined on the 10th of February, and you assume they must have been signed a bit before then. So maybe there's a world where his contract ends right after Bootcamp or during Bootcamp.
If that's the case and nobody buying him, they're just going to pick him up afterwards if that's the case.
Yeah. But that would explain why there's been no official news until now, right? Because people are just waiting for that expiry date and then they'll come in at no fee. So... but that would also lend its mind probably more to Crazy. Like Till would have announced the roster, you know. So it's sort of the implication is it's not there. I mean, to be fair, I know Stalker is like a high quality player, but I feel like I know it's Stalker, but I was still more surprised that T1 would be looking to upgrade that slot so aggressively, you know. Like I feel like if they were in a situation where they had to spend money, it made more sense to spend money to replace Vigi than anything else. So we'll keep going with expected rosters. So Falcons is expected to be essentially all the same, except they are going to add in Checkmate as well. And it's worth noting they've also added Junkbuck back to, they've Aid is out, Junkbuck in. So reunited for Junkbuck and 9K in all of this. And this just feels all positive for Falcons, really, right?
Yeah. I mean, again, I really like it. I really like the double flex DPS duo when required. They have the hit scan when required. They have the best coach in the world back on roster. It feels like this team is going to be like, it's kind of a shame that like, I don't know if Sim is going to be as relevant as it was with all the new DPS heroes, because like this would have been such a good Sim team. Like this would have been a Korean Sim team like very quickly. But I think on paper, it's really hard to look past this team. They seem super duper duper strong.
Yeah. I think like maybe the only thing is like if like all these new characters come out, like the old guard of these, because I mean the Falcons players, like they're not that old. Some of them.
They're not that old, but they're seasoned. Because I think like Chio's maybe only like 21 or something, right? Like
they've just been around for so long. Yeah. So like maybe that you see like. That's when they slip up a bit, but at the same time, like because they have like Junkbuck and stuff like that, I don't think that's going to be like a super big concern.
Yeah, I think
that boy will put them into shape.
Yeah, presuming like if Crazy Raccoon do get Stalker, then I think we are very much we're just back maybe where we always were in a 2-horse race for Korea every single time. Quick check: is cuFFa getting onto any of these teams? These are tough ones.
What? You guys serious? You don't think I have a chance?
Maybe Falcons is the most possible, I reckon.
Hammond's getting pretty old, not very good at Hazard.
They need a Hazard player.
They have a Hazard hole, bro.
They got a Hazard hole.
I could pick up Korean pretty quickly.
And y'all.
Not that hard.
Not that hard for a bunch of people who don't speak Korean.
ZETA?
Yeah, ZETA is probably the most interesting one, unannounced. So I think for the bit now, Bernard and Pelican are 100% locked. They've remained throughout all of it. People are expecting a Shu Violet reunion, obviously alongside Pelican and Bernard. I'm going to get some kind of Houston Outlaws from 2023, it would have been, coming back together. And then I think most people are expecting Milgaro and Aid to fill these slots here. So then we have an alternate tank for Bird to fill the hole in Bernard's hero pool. And we also have probably the best, I'd say Aid's probably the best hit scan that wasn't on a Crazy Raccoon or like on one of the official partner teams last year. It's the best way to say it.
Yeah. He's definitely like still a little bit below Proud, but probably like by far the best option they could have gotten if this is like a true rumor, a true roster.
Yeah. If T1 lost the off-season, ZETA won it for sure, right? Like this is
100%.
like these like the players that they're adding are the ones that I imagine T1 would absolutely like. If T1 could get that backline, T1 would immediately become like favorites to win everything potentially. Whereas now I think you said it was a 2-horse race, but I have to look at this roster on paper and say that this has to be a ZETA division which qualifies for lands. This has to be one that
what if there's one team that is going to suffer the most from this extinction event? This team is looking pretty what's it, long in the tooth? Yeah, pretty long in the tooth, this team, with 5 new heroes turning up around the corner.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess that's true. I never considered the 5 new heroes, but I think on paper it looks so good.
Burner and Violet have a good track record, I think. Like in terms of like Ilari and Hazard and stuff. Like I think they actually have a good track record with new heroes. Shu is the guy. They just got to find a way. Maybe Anna's playable if you just, jetpack cat him around constantly.
Fly him in for the Neds.
Yeah, just Shu's no longer tradable because he's just
maybe this is the year of Shu because of that. Like, maybe this is where he like excels harder than
okay, but with the headshot perk, the Anna from the Skybox would actually be insane though. Like that actually could work.
Solution to everything. What if we put it in the sky and then it's viable? But yeah, I think you're right. Really excited. I'm actually really excited to see the State Division team if everything comes to fruition. I think Milgaro as well. Unfortunately, this is going to be another tough one for cuFFa, but I think actually Milgaro has probably one of the best tanks last year in Korea. Like not just for a non-partner team or for whatever. Like I think just straight up one of the best tanks in Korea last year.
Yeah. And they got the brotherly bond, him and Aid.
And they got the best head coach in the world too, no? Big GgulTaek?
Huh?
You were meant to censor it.
Wait, GgulTaek's ZETA's coach?
GgulTaek's on that roster, yeah.
Yeah.
Really? No, I thought it was on Liquid still.
No. He snaked them too. You knew it, he snakes them,
I heard that he signed with them.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's GgulTaek, like he makes us sign somewhere else.
Do people actually know about that thing that happened with Gen G?
Let's do it.
Do you guys know about that?
I actually don't know what happened, so fill us in.
So, oh my fucking god. So after China, GgulTaek just instantly signed a contract with Gen G, like frame 1 without any sort of negotiation, like when we were still like talking with orgs, like, and then he just stopped showing up to them and like play with us. And like, I don't know, like there was like a huge thing with Krusty. Like he was like, oh, I don't want to join anymore. Krusty was like super mad at him. There's like insane shit. Like he just like signed it without saying anything. And he was like, I signed it because I was fucking mad at the time. Like he was upset about something that happened, like some conversation. And then when he was in a fit of anger, he signed a contract that locked him into coach this team.
The classic angry
$2.5K salary when we were offering him more.
I'm so mad. I'm just gonna have to fucking sign this contract. Oh, okay,
yeah, like, that was like client of the year decision. Like, holy fuck. We actually couldn't believe it. Like, he literally just said, "Yeah, I signed contract because I was angry." I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
So then how did he get out of this?
I don't even know. Like, he said to Krusty, and he was like, "I don't want to coach anymore. I got better offer." And then like Krusty, I think Krusty was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You just signed a contract. Like, do you know how anything works?" And then there was like back and forth conversation. Like, I think we offered to like help pay his buyout for his contract with our salaries and stuff. And it's like, that was just all this Mike Spam
He
bullshit.
repaid that pretty well though, right? Like when you went and paid him out of his contract, he paid it back to you in a way.
Yeah. It was really good when he didn't give any feedback for 5 days of our EWC bootcamp because Dennis swapped Bastion in overtime. That was one of the highlights of the experience.
Look, me and Chris actually have. There's an element of sympathy, I think, for me and Chris because we have also dealt with Dennis swapping Bastion in situations, but I think maybe
it wasn't
to yours
Rialto
and my
first point
credit.
attack.
Of course, it was fucking Rialto. There's no time to go into Rialto first point attack and Bastion theory, but
I mean, I remember that.
Fuck! That was like a week-long discussion. We can't do it. We can't relive that. I can't relive that period of my life where we're talking about Rialto. The only way to attack Rialto first is Bastion. I should just go Bastion here. But me and Chris, we didn't rage sign anything, or we didn't mute for 5 days after Dennis went Bastion. So I think. Credit to me and Chris on that one. Good job, Chris.
Yeah. Good on you guys for behaving like functioning human beings.
Yeah, it does feel like GgulTaek's reputation has carried him, whereas people's skills and his ethics and those other things have maybe let him down in the past, you know? But at least you guys took a salary cut for his big offers and stuff, so it should be good.
Wait, was it Gen G you had to buy him out of?
Well, we didn't actually. We never actually did the buyout. I don't know what happened there. I think Genji just like gave up on it and like didn't pursue like any sort of like legal action. But we were gonna have to chip in like I think it was like 5K or something for his buyout.
It was a separate issue, unrelated to the buyout, when he told you that he had a really big offer that he didn't really have, and you all took pay cuts to get him on the team.
Yes, that was a separate time.
A separate GgulTaek related issue.
I see.
Which was also separate to the 5 days where he didn't give you any feedback, and presumably
during
also separate.
Playoffs.
Yeah, presumably also separate to the end of stage 3 where he stopped showing up to scrims altogether.
Yeah,
that was also a separate issue. Okay,
that was really cool. Like when we lost to Liquid, I was like, all right, let's do a little team VOD before our loser final game against SSG tomorrow. And then he says, no, I'll only do 1-on-1 with Ultraviolet because you asked him. And then we go into the SSG match, we fucking lose, we come third. I mean, obviously, like, we can't entirely blame it on him, right? I think a lot of issues during that point of time that weren't just exclusive to him. But yeah, definitely made it a little bit harder throughout the year to come together.
So bearing all of that in mind, do you think he would have signed you on ZETA though?
I think there would have been a chance. Yeah, I think he really wanted to work with me again. we had a really nice conversation over a few drinks in Sweden. Oh, I asked. Yeah, we had a great time.
Did you like go at him with a bottle or something? Like
there was. I definitely said some pretty. I got in his face a few times, but I think he got a little upset about it all. Oh my god! I heard like some other shit with like he actually ended up booming Liquid as well.
No way. I thought he loved it.
Like he joined Liquid. Like nobody, like Liquid never announced that he joined because they probably didn't want to deal with bad PR, right? And like he would always come up to us during Sweden, like acting like we're his best friend and shit like that. And apparently, like the day of their T1 game, because they got 3-0'd by T1 in the EWC, they go into the warm up and they're like, I think Zero's getting like fucking like he's getting his shit packed by like the enemy Xayah, Echo, like Mira, like he's just dying a lot. And then he like but he like swapped Sojourn to try and find some value. And like GgulTaek was like screaming at him. He's like, I can't accept your apology. You go Sojourn here? What the fuck is wrong? And stuff like that. And then he's like, if you played bad today, we go home. And then they got 3-0'd and went home. I think he just like brutally fucked their mental for that match day. And it was kind of like I don't hate the Liquid guys. obviously for this stuff, but like it was kind of like, you know, we told you that he would like do things that are not good for your team. Like we gave them the worst possible recommendation to not sign this guy unless you want to be boomed, and then he boomed them in the most important day of the year, realistically.
Oh no!
I found it quite cathartic.
This means ZETA are never making LAN, are they?
Maybe because they have like the most. Yeah, maybe because they have like the most fucked team environment of like Violet and GgulTaek just having punch-ons, and then Nilgar and A and just like chopping it up in the corner. Maybe it's just like a good vibes. Like maybe they're just
brother, like, get behind me, like.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I think if we see a year of ZETA failing, maybe some internal issues. We know there's like some sort of common outlier in that regard.
I feel like the streak of events, I think it should be termed a rampage. I think GgulTaek was on a rampage last year. Like this density of incidents, I don't think there's precedent, you know? Normally people have like one thing a year or something, maybe two. This is a rampage.
I mean, there's like more in addition to that as well, you know.
Oh yeah, there's way more.
He sells like private coaching to people in like the minor regions. Like he sells private coaching to people in like Pacific and stuff. And his billing structure is like, you know, give me like $300 a month or something, and you'll just be able to like DM me and I'll like reply to your feedback and stuff. But it's not like, you know, he won't like always be like available or always reply or anything like that. You know, you're buying like the right to ask somebody questions, and like he may or may not reply to you. Like it's just ridiculous. You know, you're just like taking advantage of people that like don't know any better basically at that point. Like you're not charging like an hourly rate for a service or something like that. It's sort of just like I don't know. You're a sucker if you're buying that stuff and like falling for it. But at the same time, it's just like every story you hear about the guy is like extremely predatory. Like every single team that he goes to, it's the same thing of like, oh, there's some bullshit involved and like people are taking cuts and there's this, that, and the other going on. And it's just like, at some point you'd wish that people would stop giving him the benefit of the doubt and hiring him. But the problem is he's a good coach.
Yeah, like he's a good coach. He's just like a terrible person. Like that whole like Liquid thing where he says like Liquid's offering him like $5,000 a month salary, and we're like, what the fuck? Like we haven't even found a team after stage 1. Now we're about to lose a coach after we've just lost. Or like Zero leaves like day of Rust Luck as well. Like it was just so chalked. And then he's like saying that shit about like $5,000 a month, and like, okay, all of us take salary cuts to try and like match the offer so we don't lose into Liquid. And then we find out months later that like Liquid never even offered close to 5K. I think it was like 2.5 or like 3. It's just like
there's a 5 in it.
Just like an unbearable human. Like I made it known that I fucking hated his guts in Sweden. Like we had a very stern conversation when we were out drinking.
Did you notice he had really old shoes as well? Like his shoes were really
stay
beat
rich.
Up. Yeah, like he's getting all this money from these exploited Pacific teams and from the teams he is coaching, he's getting salary cuts from. He's got really old shoes. So, yeah. Maybe you're right.
Or he's like secretly a gambler or something. Like there's something going on behind the scenes, you know?
Yeah,
all his money's going somewhere.
Not on his shoes.
Not on the shoes.
Good old GgulTaek, what a guy.
He's got a job at least, so I can't say the same, so big ups to him.
That's esports.
He's got a job,
you know what?
And he's got a shoe.
He does. I got that one.
Great work. You got that one.
Yeah,
you were quick in this time. Then last team to touch on probably quickly is Crazy Raccoon, and this is also in the expected category, but everyone's expecting potentially Stalker to go here. But Vigilante seems like the obvious candidate to fill Shu's role here. So ignore the Stalker element for a moment if that's unknown. Does Vigilante make Crazy Raccoon better or worse than Shu?
I don't know. I haven't been too insane on Shu across the last 12 months in general, so I don't know, maybe it's fine. Like there's probably a reason it's happening, presumably, like a difference in agreement or whatever. So if they get Stalker, I think that's like a pretty tangible +1. I guess I expect that support line to still be good like they were last season.
Any other thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, Crazy Raccoon's Crazy Raccoon. Like, there's no way where they're ever going to be in a position where like they're not at the higher echelon of like performing well, regardless of like who they actually end up getting and what happens. Like, I think like the core is just too strong. You know, you have probably like the best main sport in the world, pretty much like one of, if not the best tanks in the world. And then Max as well is also really fucking good. Like, there's no way this team doesn't do good throughout the whole year. And you'd imagine they're probably pretty fucking hungry to get their get back after two disappointing tournaments in a row, after like such a long time of like domination or like success.
Yeah, I agree. Unless
they just fucking bite the bullet and just like fall off. I don't see that.
I reckon these guys won't be. They've made their roster like actively younger, and they will probably want to be younger, like compared to Falcons, right? And this potential Zeta team, they're actually all on the like younger side. So I think this team is the most extinction proof, maybe alongside T1.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, then a quick trip back to China now, as we've already covered the AG roster. So the big one is obviously Weibo announced their roster, which is going to be Guxue, Leave and Shy. They all stay. They add Munzo. Munzo is Billideng. You probably know him as the sort of the Zarya guy. The ground tank, the new Liga, essentially, the new ground tank guy. And then the big signings are obviously Maka and Lee Soo-min coming as the backline, with Dongsu and Damon taking those coaching roles. So this is, it's just massive upgrades, right? Just massive upgrades across the board.
Yeah, I think identified the weak link of the team, got two really good players to do it. Need to deal with some language barriers, but it feels like this is all good for them.
My only worry about this team is one problem I think Weibo have always been guilty of at these international events is really bad drafts, right? Just terrible drafts. And they can get away with it in China because they're just, regionally dominant. They have a player gap. And now the two coaches they've signed are the two Wei coaches from last year, who have a horrendous track record for awful drafts in Korea and in international events as well. So my only worry is they've upgraded the team massively, and they're still just going to suck dick in the draft. And all that's going to happen is they're just going to disappoint. They'll still win. They'll win China, and they'll still underwhelm internationally. Like, the draft is the biggest worry for this team, not player quality.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't think that even with this new roster that it looks good enough to go much further than they went last year. Like, are we expecting like above top 8 in big tournaments? Like, I don't know. Still don't massively see it.
Like a top 6, like 4th to 6th.
I think Billideng is like such a fucking good pickup for that roster.
But my point is, which roster were they better? Not better than last year in the world that you now think they're better than. You still think that roster can beat any like the top 3-4 Korean teams? Do you put them above like the EU teams still? Like,
I think I'd put them above. Like, maybe it might be hard for them to beat VP, but I think I'd definitely put them above like 3rd place EU. I think they could
Geekay or something. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think they could beat VP. Like, I think that's a pretty fair assumption. And then I think NA, like, they could also have a run for, like, it depends on the meta as well, right? Like, if it's like more like main tank oriented by that time, like maybe it's better for Guxue as well. Like, it is like a better backline. But it's like Billideng's insane. Like, that guy's fucking good. And he brings like a lot of more flexibility to that roster that they were previously kind of limited to. Like, obviously you want to keep Guxue in a lot because he brings so much to the actual like team environment, at least from what I've heard. But I think they're like a lot more like proofed out. I feel like they have a chance to like return to somewhat former glory, but at the same time, yeah, I can see like a world where they don't really push past like top 8, top 6.
Yeah, to be fair to
what goes on.
I think they're better, but I think if you look at the world rankings after the last couple of tournaments compared to maybe the start of the year where they did, when they had a good stage 1 at Champions Clash, right? And they finished, was it 3rd in the end? I think the problem is now, since that stage 1, maybe it was 4th, but you look at like now, like this TM team seems to have really sort of asserted itself into that elite category, right? And then I wouldn't put this Weibo roster above TM or something. So I feel like there's more competition at that top end as well. So even though Weibo are now closer to that top end, there's maybe even more teams that were ahead of them than maybe at the start of last year,
Yeah, I definitely think like this year will be probably much more competitive in terms of like top heavy. Like there was like always like a few question marks around like some rosters last year, or like certain teams just like couldn't match up in certain metas. But like this year, it definitely feels like the level of play should be higher across like the board.
Yeah, what this team does have as well is it has like that unique look, right? Like if somehow Winston is salvaged and becomes really meta, and there's like an Anakiri or something, there's versions where I think this roster can really excel. Or if there's a Zarya meta for Billadeng or something, there's sort of versions of the meta where this roster can actually do really well, like even on this national level.
Yeah, I think the one question mark I have for them is Leave, probably. I feel like, well, like I guess their DPS line, like Leave and Shy.
If they've still
Just
got
like,
it.
Yeah, like they've been around for so long, and now if there's more new heroes, like we said, with like the extinction thing, like now more than ever. Like I thought I heard rumors of League wanting to retire as well. So if he's gonna like pick up all these new heroes and like shit's going down, like maybe that's like the weak point of this roster.
Extinction level event.
Speaking of old players, the final partner team in China is JDG. They're not going to be at the Bootcamp, but their roster is Belosria, Kaneki, Pineapple, and then Monk and Mewtwo. Mewtwo obviously being Mew. From last year, so they basically just taken the leftover Weibo roster after they got replaced by Koreans, and I think it's Kama who's going to be coaching that one. So just feels like a classic second place roster, maybe even third place now with AG.
Yeah, I feel like they've kind of fallen off a bit. Like I think them losing Billadeng was like super bad for them, and like maybe they upgrade support line a little bit, but
I mean, I feel like I can make a real argument that actually Kivis and Lenksa might be better, you know?
Yeah, I agree actually.
So this could get like really dodgy for JDG, and then Belosria stuck solo tanking, which is maybe about as good as you can. He's decent enough, like in terms of he's got the range, but he's just not got. Again, I'd probably put him below a lot of these other tanks like Liga and stuff, and Mag as well.
Yeah, I feel like he had a pretty disappointing year on Rock. Like never coming second, or like always losing out to the second place Chinese team, like Team CC.
Yeah, that Rock roster, they were cursed. So I guess we'll find out if it's Rock, the organization, that is cursed, or if it's connected to maybe Belosria and the other players. This one, cuFFa, you could have gotten this one. We would have had some language problems, but you could have gotten this one.
White boy can learn a bit of Chinese. I know.
Don't tell my
Chris,
wife.
you got a few words on you.
No, don't tell my wife this, okay? She won't be happy to find out that it's possible to learn Chinese. I mean, Tara, it's not possible, okay?
You've convinced her it's not possible.
As far as she's aware, it's not possible, okay? So just keep this on the down low.
All right. Any other roster news that's worth? I don't think so. I think we've hit all the major teams. All right. Then let's hit a client of the week. As always, I've not written anything down of anything I remembered. Has anyone written anything down or has a functional memory that can recall something clienty that's happened in the past couple of weeks since we last recorded?
Team USA, we're finally getting this one in.
Oh yeah, they got a special mention in the Q&A. Obviously, if you want to see that entire Q&A, all 3 hours of it, it will be on our Patreon very soon. Very soon.
I saw another. Did you see another one hit today? Maybe as we were recording.
Yeah, another one got posted.
Go on.
Did you see it, Max?
The McGravy one, right?
Yeah. So I don't know if this is what NA is doing, where they're just publicly announcing their like bids, but instead of just doing the committee, they're doing like 20 million people. But I don't understand why the 20 million people need to lock themselves into one bid, you know? Like if you're gonna like do content or something on the side, then you just do it for Team UK, right? Like you don't, it should just be the committee.
I just don't think they are locking themselves in. Like they tack themselves onto the announcements, and then like whoever wins the committee is going to get all of these people trying to help out. You know,
they're just going
like
to jump ship immediately.
Like yeah, like
it's like a DSG contract, you know? Yeah,
it's meaningless.
It's like when GgulTaek says he will coach your team.
Sounds good on paper.
I don't really see the point of like adding like all the excess people, because like Blizzard only cares about the first 3 people. They're not going to look at all these other people and be like, oh, they have this person here, like we should pick this 3-person committee because they have someone else working for them. Like those extra people will just jump ship. They'll just go whoever gets picked. So I think it's really important that they just like focus on like the actual committee and like brand those people in that regard. Like maybe they do like a video introduction or like some sort of like content of why they should be picked or like something like that.
I just don't think that they should be announcing at all until they get it. Like it's all Blizzard consideration. It's not like that popularity contest sort of thing, you know? Like it's not achieving anything what they're doing.
I think they're doing it because they saw the other posts that came out as well. Like they feel like they need to.
Yeah,
I think the original one was the clienty one. You know, like for sure the original one was like the client. I don't think that this one is so clienty at all. Just because it's like now there's some sort of like precedent of it happening, so it's like they've maybe feel some sort of like concern and feel like they should announce it, or maybe they're announcing it because they like got it or something. And no, that probably wouldn't be right because I think there's probably nothing saying that you can't announce once you get it. Because I think the announcements, like the decisions need to be
next
in
week, right?
by the 10th, right?
The 10th, I think, is when we find out.
And they said that they would be emailing out responses already. Like I didn't think that it was going to be all at once. I thought it was just going to be like as it's decided, they're going to email out the decisions. But I mean, I still haven't gotten anything either way. Maybe in the tweet it said like we'll start sending stuff this week. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe the Avril Committee for Australia has me by the balls. Who knows?
Who was the rest of the committee?
For what?
For which one?
For us.
For Australia?
Yeah. Who did you pick?
I haven't announced it. It's.
Are you doing the announcement now? Client.
Yeah, I'm doing the announcement. It's Smash and Smash.
It's so Smash actually wanted. Both Smashes actually wanted to do it.
Yeah, Korean Smash as the coach and Smash Brother as the GM.
No, that's actually tough. I fuck with that movie.
Yeah.
It feels so on brand that it's kind of just a bit, but it also works.
It works. It's a bit, but it works.
Like it really does work. Like both super qualified for it. Just works, but like it's a good
double
bit,
Smash burger.
It is a good bit because like that's like a running bit for years as well. I feel like we'd always see like Smash like on Twitter.
Yeah. I see it happening in your Twitch chat all the time when the Australian Smash turns up and everyone talks to him like he's Korean Smash.
It is a good bit.
Do you think?
I can't wait to not get it with that committee.
You think if by Zenith gets this one, it's going to be Rocket on Team USA instead of Zero or Sugar Free? Just a consideration, you know. I don't know if Blizzard will factor it in, but just a consideration.
Well, maybe it's because Gravy is the actual coach. Like they the agreement. Like you can get the head coach for Disguise, but I'll get the head coach for Team USA. Okay. Like a rotation.
Oh, also we're doing Client of the Week nominations right now, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we could nominate like Albert or DSG or something, but at the same time, it's like. Maybe Rocket. I don't know. Like everyone involved in that situation, it's like one big client thing. Because like I refuse to believe that this is all just by Zenith. You know what I mean? Like everyone is just like pinning this on by Zenith, this like mysterious figure that isn't like really active on social media or like a big presence in the community as of late. But everyone is like blaming all of this on Zenith. You know, it's like Zenith just wouldn't possibly join if he didn't have Tread. You know what I mean? Like there's just no way that that's the reality of the situation here, right? Like surely Rocket and players on the team, like surely everyone was against Painkiller in this situation. It's not all the coach that is super essential for the player to join is the make or break here, right? Like
you think he's a fall
publicly,
guy?
But I think he is 100% the fall guy for this situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like this is multiple people like turning on PK and stabbing him in the back in this situation, but everyone is happy to just blame Zenith because like Zenith doesn't give a fuck, you know? Like Zenith can just take the blame for that and move on, but it's obviously not just him. Because if it was just him, the decision wouldn't have been made in such a way. Like, there's no way that by Zenith, as the 4th coach addition for the roster or whatever he is the make or break as to why you have to cut your already signed player. So I think just the way that all of this was communicated from the DSG side, like everyone involved is a client because like nobody wanted to take the real responsibility for the situation and it was all such a fucking mess.
You know what's like the best part about all of this happening?
You didn't get a job?
They all live together.
They all what?
They all live together. Rocket, Painkiller, Lep.
No way.
I think CJ, they all, like those 4 guys, all live together in the same apartment at Northwood. So this is like
a domestic.
Yeah,
this is domestic.
Imagine Rocket's like talking to his side piece by Zenith, being like, "Yeah, we're gonna get PK off the roster. We're gonna get Tread in," and Painkiller's like one desk away. Like,
yeah, I love that idea. Like, they're all in the same room. I don't want to fucking play with
Did I hear my name?
Yeah. Like, I swear I'm not baiting. I'm like 95% sure they all lived it because they all at Northwood together. Like, they all have the same PC lab they play from.
Are you sure PK isn't remote? Because I know, like,
no, he's there. He's there. Like, they all moved back this semester.
That's bloody brilliant. Oh my god.
Like, whilst all this is happening, they're just all in person. I feel like if shit like that happened at ISU, like, it would be so awkward for like me.
Oh, that's actually beautiful. I love it.
But also, you'd think you'd handle it a bit more, like a bit better if you're all in person. Like, you'd get to the bottom of it.
Are you saying they would have a conversation in person rather than like making a Google Doc? Think about what you're saying,
versus
cuFFa. It's not
screenshots in the
possible.
community Discord. Like, it's just fucked, bro. Like,
we just need to sit them both down in their living room and like have like listen, someone fucking hit stream record, like start the stream on their phone and just like have them both just have like a mutual conversation and just talk it out.
So I picture the
Sometimes we just need a bit of communication.
Just have a little debate, right? Chris
Yeah,
has
we
solved
need
a
a
lot of
mediator
problems
in
with debates recently.
CJ could be like the neutral mediator in the conversation. And it'd be interesting to watch. Like, people would like to watch that. Like, that would be entertaining.
Yeah. I think I also want to throw some of the blame at management because I feel like they've just started handing out contracts too early now they had no intention of honouring. Because I feel like if you just sort of change on, like, oh, we've got to offer this guy a contract. He is a central piece of the roster. He's absolutely essential to it. And then within a week or two, he's not just no longer essential, but you need to shoot him immediately in the head. I feel like your first decision can't have been very good, or you can't have been that committed to it.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they would like individually offer contracts like before they have like I don't know. Like, I feel like
everyone has to agree.
I swear the way it is. I swear it's so obvious to me.
Yeah, like surely before you sign the contract, everyone's like set on like who they want, and like everyone's ready to sign as a team.
It's not that. I swear it's not that. It's because Albert is in charge. So Albert is so desperate to win the off season as always. He loves to, like he takes the full responsibility of it. So he's making all of these moves off Painkiller. Like he's a nightmare might get him. Like, I've got to do. You can tell like he's the one that's making these decisions because he's desperate to. He loves doing it so much.
But wasn't like all that mayhem off season? That was all Gumba. That wasn't Albert doing that. Or is this like a credit thing, like wanting to take?
No, this is like so. So I think So with Florida, Gumba deserves the credit for all the scouting, and Albert just did what Gumba said in that scenario, from my understanding. But I think Albert is still keen to like he's kind of a rule book merchant. Is the impression I always get. Moneyball it. Like, I think he really likes this. So I think Chris is right. So when he hears that PK might have a nightmare offer of this,
he locks in
PK. Yeah, he's trying to play he's trying to really just play like lead negotiator, like win the game of the off season.
But like, from what I heard, just like half of the people that DSG wanted just like had no interest in joining. So they kind of lost all bargaining power of like negotiations because they had people locked down before they had a full roster sorted. So
yeah, but it's not about winning or losing. It's about playing the game. It's for taking part in that counts.
Fun.
That's what they always say.
It's
always it's for taking part in that counts in roster building.
I think people always like miss the market, like roster creation, of like, you need to play with people you actually fucking like as a person. And like, if you don't want to play with these people and like you don't sort this before contracts are signed, it's just going to be a fucking mess. And that's what happened. Like, some people are like, oh, I don't want to play with you. I don't want to play with this guy. Like, I don't trust this roster. Like, you need to have a fucking roster that everyone wants to play with each other and like respects each other, and like it's going to work. Because then shit will just like come into fruition like better. But because this shit happened, like half the players like, I don't want to join DSG because they're this person, or like I want this person to come with me. It's just a fucking shit fight. And like, they don't seem like they have like, it doesn't seem like a vibes team. Like, you need a vibes team. You need people.
Yeah. PG should just got the boys in. Could have got Trung in. Should have got Trung and Lenny.
Trung.
I mean, you say I'd watch Toast co-streaming that, you know, just I'd watch it.
Yeah,
pretty shit match with it.
I think that was like another thing. Like because PG signed first, I think some people were like, oh, like I don't want to play with him because he's like more of a streamer, and like he hasn't come back. So like I think sure, like having PG on the team is like good for like the branding and like the name recognition, and like if he actually is like really good, like it's good. But like because they locked him in straight away, maybe some people weren't happy with that decision and they wanted to like at least see how he would be in like a tryout like the other players. I don't know.
Yeah, like I think actually the easiest thing for DSG to do would have just been to take that Sakura core and then like add a couple of pieces or something.
Yeah, but I mean, I think whatever they did with their situation, there was never like it was so hard to make a competitive roster in that stage.
Oh yeah, there's always going to be like a battle for fourth.
Yeah.
Well, their problem is I think that they're like actually their odds on to get like relegated. Maybe they'll bounce straight back, you know, through the promo relegation. But I think like wouldn't be surprised if this team finishes it.
For partner teams to get relegated?
Yeah. We didn't even really talk about it, but Peps are going to have a real problem, I think, in this stage one. I think EMEA is super competitive, and Peps are going to be like up against it, you know. But yeah, really scary with 4 partner teams in North America. I think even Dallas have to be scared, you know, because it's a short regular season. A couple of games go wrong, and then all of a sudden you're in like this sudden death promo relegation tournament to keep your spot in OWCS for the stage.
Yeah, I mean, like if you lose one game of regular season to like a 5th, 6th team, aren't you like fucked? Or like you have a chance of not making top 4?
You're in the thick of it for sure.
Yeah, like it's.
I really like that.
Upsets are really. Yeah, I agree. Because like you think last year there were like upsets. Like someone would drop a regular, like TU lost to Pep. Sorry, Christy, that's the first one that came to my head. But TU would still finish 5th or 6th and make playoffs and end up finishing 3rd overall or something, right? Like there was always like a recovery mechanic. It wasn't that impactful. Whereas now, if the same thing happened, like that stage 1, TU and TM wouldn't have made playoffs because they messed up regular season games, you know? And they would have been fighting promotion relegation. It's like really, really scary every game.
Yeah, like it just makes it more interesting. Like regular season games actually fucking matter. Like you look at the first 2 stages of NA, like Liquid got 3-0 both first games against Timeless, or like the Timeless and the Nightmare. Like that shit would actually matter way more for their future games. Like if they get 3 of the first week of a regular season, they're like, holy fuck, like if we lose to any worse team now, we're like, we have a chance to live in making playoffs. Like that's way more interesting to follow as like a viewer, as opposed to just slop games regular season. Top 4 is like pretty much guaranteed no matter what, and then like maybe there's like a playoffs run, but from like an underdog team. I think it rewards people to be better over like the whole season instead of like being shit for like all of regular season and like locking in for playoffs, which is
I agree.
But 2 years back.
Yeah, I agree. We'd rather get like 7 times, I swear.
But that's like another thing. Like they don't have time to, you know, sort out issues. Like if you start slow, like you're kind of fucked. Like say like all these rosters, like Dallas, for example, like with like the mixed roster, like if shit doesn't go well from the start, like there's not much time to get shit sorted, and it's like super high stakes, like super high pressure, and that's good. Like that's good for the game. That makes it interesting for people to follow. It puts like fire in your belly to do better as a player as well. Like it's just like a win-win perspective for everyone. So I actually really like the new format of like regular season actually fucking mattering.
So the client of the week is. It's just got to be disguised, right, in some form.
Yeah,
but I feel like the NA one is kind of clienty, but I feel like the disguised one is like the scale's just bigger here, you know.
Yeah, happy to agree.
All right, welcome to Overwatch Toast. Disguised is the client of the week. And then, is there anything else we need to... Well, actually, before I forget, one thing we need to do, we need to thank Red Eyes, our biggest and favourite supporter on Patreon.
Felix.
Thank you very much, Red Eyes. And then, is there anything else we've forgotten, we've missed? Any Overwatch news? We've done all the Spotlight, we've done all the rosters. We've established at least, I want to say almost like 8 to 10 teams that cuFFa can be a part of. So hopefully some of the coaches watch this, and your phone is going to be ringing off the hook, mate. So do not worry.
Just anything to pay for my rent. Come on, guys.
Let's cast the net wider. If anyone has just like maybe a handyman job they need doing around the house, or some gardening work they need to do that they can pay. cuFFa is available for work.
Yeah. If you're in Illinois and you pay cash, because visas are a little bit complicated.
It's a cashy
money that way, so a little bit of cash, slide my way.